And we are live. Connoisseurs of fine common cardboard, welcome to today's surprise live stream. Let's do it. Welcome, connoisseurs of fine common cardboard, to today's live stream. I've got my buddy Zach here once again. We got him on a back-to-back live stream. We did it with the set review. And one of the things we talked about in the set review was this creature. Oxidda Finisher has both of us really excited. And I don't know if it's possible for us to have more fun making the deck than we did designing the thumbnail. But Harambe here is about to do some serious work.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the things that really just stuck out to both of us was that this is so similar to Sailor's Bane. It's similar to Dargo. It's like the same size as Dargo. It's basically the same creature, except that instead of having to sack things to consume them, they're just passively reduced, and the equipment's never going to get destroyed.
Right.
So the idea is to play a bunch of equipment, play Oxidda for 2, and just do that until our opponents lose.
Yeah.
And this is not a particularly complicated deck build. There's going to be some nuances, I feel like, and maybe how much removal, how many sweepers, where we get our card advantage. But in a lot of ways, equipment is a form of card advantage too. So pretty excited about this. We both took a stab at it beforehand, but we've since kind of cleared the deck up here so that we can kind of do this all from scratch. So first incentive is equipment. So
and cheap ones.
Cheap ones. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get right into it here. Anthony Canese, welcome to the chat. MONKE indeed. So we're gonna do type equipment, and I think we're just gonna go through by CMC.
Yeah.
So CMC 0, and
all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
Yep.
And in fact, actually, one of the things that strikes me is that sometimes these cards can feel kind of useless in decks where you're not, if you're only using them for something that you flicker with a banishing knack, for example. So if you're only putting these in this deck to banishing knack or something like that, then they don't feel very useful. But in a deck like this, it's not just Oxidda Finisher that we're going to load up with our equipment. And one of the things that's kind of interesting is the ability to kind of do a Brunner Battlehammer approach. It's not just Oxidda. We might have some incidental creatures that draw, like a Sky Scanner, and then loading them up with 2 1/4 shields, a Bone Splitter, some other stuff. It's like, this thing's going to kill you too. Yeah. So we're really excited about that. So I think we play all of these.
Yep.
And I think, let's see, are these going to the main deck? Yeah, okay, perfect. So all of these are great. The Vigilance is going to be surprisingly relevant.
Super good. Yeah.
If Oxidda is not dying, then he's swinging and trampling and killing things and then blocking in return. Yeah. So pretty awesome.
It also makes him harder to kill.
That's right. Yeah. So let's go here to 1. Yeah, I mean 7/5, right? He dies to Scred, Magmatic Sinkhole, Swirling Sandstorm if he has nothing on him.
Yeah.
A big Fireball, which nobody casts.
Right. Maybe a Crypt Rats or Pestilence in the late game. But
I presume in late game we have a couple of short swords. We might even have one of the 0-costers.
You can bring up his toughness.
If you're pestilencing for 10, you might just have already won the game.
Too.
So one of the things too is that there's a lot of really good 1-cost artifacts. Then there's some that aren't as good. But I don't know. Maybe we play all of them because these are basically rituals, right?
Yeah, right. So in I'm gonna frequently make the comparison to Dargo. In Dargo, you play all these cheap spells to get Dargo out quickly, and then you sacrifice your whole board and all of your game actions that you've taken up to that point. You sacrifice cards in hand and cards on board to get Dargo out. On this one, you actually get increase your number of game actions to get him out, in that you can spend mana to equip and increase your options instead of decreasing your options for Dargo.
And I think one of the interesting things here too is that in a Dargo deck, you actually have to have a section of your deck that's dedicated to what's called food, right? Which is basically stuff that we can feed into Dargo. And in this case, we aren't losing the thing. We don't have to dedicate slots to dead things. I almost feel as if this is a Dargo improvement, except that you don't get a partner. which is
Which
obviously like a big
is a
loss.
downside, obviously.
Yeah, but 2 mana every time. It retains a lot of the other things that you like about Dargo, which is like you can play Dragon Breath, which is going to be amazing. So yeah, so these ones here, we had one comment here from Slats. First of all, haven't seen you in chat before, Slats. Welcome to the stream. I think you might be on Twitter. I think I know you on Twitter. Yeah, so glad to have you here. Spare Dagger, Lightning Spear, Ninja's Kunai, and to double as removal. Yeah, some of those look really good to me. Lightning Spear in particular is just a lightning bolt. But we're going to start with the 1 mana ones and get those out of the ways. Yes, Twitter. Got it. Okay, my memory isn't that shot yet. So so something like even Adventuring Gear, it's going to be like kind of a better Bone Splitter sometimes, but it's just 1 mana and it's 1 to equip, which we're going to really like that.
Yeah, I like the cheap equip costs as well.
Yep, Blazing Torch is cool. You can use it as removal. It's 1/1.
Yep.
Can't be blocked by vampires or zombies. Doesn't matter. It's just again, these are rituals. So like when I was playtesting this with 100 cards that I just threw together, I was finding that it was like if I had a hand of like 2 lands and then like a 0 cost and a couple of 1 cost, you just go 0 cost on and then 1 cost and then land 2 more 1 cost and you're at 4.
Which brings
4
them down
and
to
then 2 and
3 costs.
All you need to do is play a single land, and you can use that land to make another
1 drop.
1 drop for free, and then you cast it for 2. So you can and there are sequences where you play this on turn 2, where you go land, 0 drop, 1 drop, 2. You would have to go 0 drop, 0 drop. Well, so actually, wait a second. So you would probably be most likely playing this on 3 in a lot of games, which is a lot like Sailor's Bane. Yeah, sometimes it has haste, right?
On 3, so you're attacking the same amount that turn.
Right, so Bone Splitter, Boots of Speed, these ones are all good. Ceremonial Knife is going to be great for grinding. I love the Clifes, this one just attaches.
With flying is very strong.
The Dark Steel Axe is functionally another Bone Splitter.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There's a new feature we can use here that they just added to, look at that.
Hey, that's great.
Isn't that great? Yeah, super visible. So as we go through here and we can look at the cards bigger.
Phones, you're welcome.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Dueling Rapier is another one. I've actually overlooked this several times. It's a Bone Splitter that comes in and immediately attaches, which is really, really efficient.
Yeah.
The equip is 4 on the back end, which is a bummer. But I think that the speed of it is going to help us sometimes just dunk people. Explorer Scope, maybe not, but it's a 1 mana equip for 1.
I've had games where it's
card advantage
me for 3 or 4.
I think it's going to be great. And if we have a flyer, like an evasive flyer, like imagine it's say our Oxidda dies the first time and we need to spend a turn just like play an equipment, load up the Sky Scanner, hit, and then next turn we're going to play the Oxidda. The Explorer Scope could actually get us lands. It's a form of card advantage. So Flare Husk is going to be a body, which is great, and it's also going to be an equipment. So Golem Skin Gauntlet is an easy include. It's going to be very sick.
I just want to go in on the like living weapon.
Oh, sure.
So I've made a couple of equipment decks, and one of the things that you're trying to balance always is number of equipments and number of things to balance them to. And so Flare Husk not having to make that option of being both the equipment and the creature is really nice for the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, that's perfect. And it's doing double duty. It's a form of card advantage, right? Like creatures that have equipment on them is card advantage. Real quick, I need to make a quick adjustment just to make sure that we get this, get your chat included here. For some reason, it's not coming through. So let's refresh that real quick. Properties. Yeah, it should be coming through. What if I, a quick look. Top chat. What if we did live chat like that? Does this need to be moved up? Oh, it's not visible. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. You know, this is all a learning process. Every day that I come on and stream, it's just new things every single time. So, all right, there we go. We've got chat showing up on screen here. Okay, sweet. So we got Golem Skin Gauntlet, Hedron Blade. Still could be. It's just a overpriced short sword, but I think we can go Honed Kopesh first. Leather Armor is interesting.
I like it.
Yep.
Equip for 0.
Yep. Scimitar. I think that these short sword effects are going to be really, good.
Yep.
So there's that one. We've got the Ninja Kunai.
Yeah, removal.
Yep, that's great.
Double
1/1, 1 mana to do it. Very low cost. You could swap this onto a creature that isn't Oxidda.
Yeah, I don't think
Use
you
it.
equip this.
Yeah.
Right, because you want to attack if it can tap.
Yes, absolutely.
You missed the flying one.
You like this hover sail?
I think
1
flying
mana.
is powerful.
Flying is going to be good.
Yeah.
We've got Rune Stalactite, which is just another overpriced short sword.
Yeah.
Maybe we just like overpriced short swords are still good enough. Boots of Speed. Okay, we got all that. And then let's go down to short sword. Shard of Broken Glass, also very cheap to equip. It doesn't give toughness, but we don't really care. The milling off the top doesn't really do us anything.
No.
I don't think there's any value to that. But it is a May ability. So we could say this is actually better than, say, like Hedron Blade.
Yeah.
Because we don't really care about the toughness.
Right.
It's a May.
He's big enough to survive most attacks.
That's right. Simian Sling here is another good one too. This creature.
Again, non-choice. When it's both things, it's good.
Yep, that's really good for sure. Skybinder Staff.
If you give it flying in this, it's unblockable.
Oh,
it is
okay.
Expensive to equip.
But there's a lot of ways to give flying in colorless. It's really like a common effect. I kind of like Slagwood Armor, not so much for the Oxidda, but for the other things and the fact that it's only 1 mana. Right? If we attack like certain creatures that we have, if we give them +6 toughness, every creature that comes out with a Slagwood Armor is going to be hitting so hard and not easy to deal with. Spare Dagger is pretty low impact. However, it is 1 mana, 1 to equip for 1 damage. Right? Like
it's a +1
power.
+0.
I think we play that. This is going to be great. Life Staff is going to save us. It's going to save our bacon in a lot of cases. Tormentor's Helm is great. 1/1 damage. Utility Knife equips on cast.
Okay.
Which is good. Vanquisher's Axe is just another bone splitter.
Yep.
Viridian Longbow, probably not, but we could. It just feels like
it's a tough one.
Like this is where you're really paying a premium because we don't get any power from this. It's equipped for 3. It's only 1 damage. Yeah. Probably not. Okay, so up to there. Let's do CMC2.
There's a couple flying haste ones that I really
like. Okay, so Barbed Batterfist is like an automatic include creature. You're going to be introducing some exciting stuff with this and Cole the Forge Master as well. So just as a little teaser there on what's coming. So that one's cool. First Strike is interesting.
Sure. Flying's good too.
Flying is good. Wither, kind of funny. I don't know if that's actually.
That one may be too
we don't care about that.
Yeah.
Cloak of the Bat's going to be insane. Just downright insane. Crystal Slipper, haste, +1 power, 1 to equip. It's very good.
And the Cobbled Wings.
Cobbled Wings, you think so too?
I like flying. I think that
throw this in considering.
Sometimes that there are decks that can play out a 5 power creature.
Yep.
If you get the 4/1 with Menace and you forge it or something.
Sure.
Just off the initiative. You don't want it to die. It's going to cost 2 mana still, but
Yep. And the 1 to equip is almost one of the better parts of this, right? Because it's so easy to equip. Echo Circlet Circlet is also coming to mind here because we have like 6 different ways to give vigilance. And blocking an additional creature, if we have Slagwood Armor, it's defensive, but I think we could probably afford it because again, every artifact is just a ritual. It's like every one of these is a mana rock, and that's going to be nasty. Executioner's Hood cannot be blocked except your red or artifact.
It's pretty restricting on other people's, a lot of decks are not red.
A lot of non-red stuff. Fleet Feather Sandal is going to be great. Gilded Pinions, probably not. It does ramp us. Actually, maybe this is better than like, we don't have to choose just yet. We'll just, so it's ramp. We could throw this in. Yeah, Goldbane Pick I think is going to be great.
Heart Piercer Bow.
1 to equip. It does. Let's actually think about this. There are a lot of gut decks right now. This dumpsters gut really hard.
Just killing something for free
every turn you kill a gut. For a cheap mana. Overpriced Bone Splitter, probably not. This Javelin of Lightning is first strike +2/+0 flash. for 2, and it immediately equips. So it's basically Bone Splitter, because you pay 1 for the Bone Splitter, 1 to cast it.
Yeah. The problem that so we've added a couple of these, and I've actually there is this tension with those that come in attached, in that you can't play them out before Oxidda. So they don't count towards the rituals until the second cast, and then you need to actually pay the 4 mana.
Well, they do cast. They do. This doesn't have to have a target, right?
You don't have to, right? It can be
so you play it early, but then if you do,
cheaper,
then it's 4 mana to equip, which is tough. Yeah, so I think maybe we don't.
Right, the 1 mana ones are still like maybe good enough.
+1/+1 flying is interesting. I mean, it's. I think that we're there. There's God. This one is so good.
Yeah.
The trample is irrelevant for Oxidda, but it's great for the rest of them.
Right.
And it's a bolt, so we're definitely playing this one. We're gonna play Scavenge Blade is another one where it's a little. It's not as bad.
It's not as bad.
Yeah,
I think
3 is not so terrible.
I think I think that I'm not in love with the cards that come in attached because you can't play them first.
Yeah, I think
you don't want to.
The key thing about this is that we're gonna have so many good options that like we don't have to scrounge. Yep. Like when I built this, like my first draft of it, it was like 35 pieces of equipment, and that was like hard to cut ones. Sparring Collar is interesting because of the first strike, and being able to swap it. So this one does have some appeal to me.
First strike is powerful.
Okay, yeah.
You know, lets you win a lot of combats.
Ooh, +1/+1 vigilance. This one is very premium. Yeah, highly premium. Vanguard Shield, block an additional creature. Pretty expensive. Probably not.
Yeah.
It's not. Blocking isn't our first and foremost priority. We are trying to kill our opponent.
Right.
But if there are cheap ways, like Echo Circulate, for example, to do that, then we're fine.
Echo Circulate, like, yes, it does. You can equip to Oxidda, but it's also like I can double chump.
Yep.
With whatever other creature that you put it on.
Wings of Hubris is interesting because it does say can't be blocked. This is like an onboard like dead switch.
Yeah. If it's you know, I need to kill this person or they're going to win this turn, they have a flying blocker, you can just get there.
Yeah. We do have trample, so a lot of times it's going to be a question of like, is unblockable important? Because we're going to have so many like combinations of flying and trample that it's going to be like functionally very hard to deal with Oxidda in combat. Okay, great. So that's a good start there. And then once we get up to 3, we're not going to be excited about anything.
Yeah,
very picky. Yeah, which is not hard here. Haunted Cloak is like one of your favorite cards ever.
Yeah, it is my favorite piece of equipment.
Yep. So this one's
all
great.
the words on it are good.
Yeah, no, it's a banger for sure. I think this one and then Strider Harness could, but
that's a maybe.
There's a lot of better versions of this though, right? A lot of better ways to get
We already
haste.
have like maybe 6 or 7 ways to give it haste already.
Haste is very good. I mean, and I'm going to throw it in just for now, just because I feel like you could go turn 1, 0 and a 1, turn 2, 1, 1, turn 3, you could play a 3, and then turn 4, you could be playing it.
And have the mana to equip.
And have the mana to equip, right? So turn 4, it sets you up nicely.
Yeah.
Whisper Silk Cloak, this is like one of the few ways in the deck we have to actually like protect
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think you just are almost obliged, even though it is expensive. But if this does land, if you have a turn where you're just able to like move this, you know, put this into play, nobody counters it, you attach it, nobody kills, you might just win the game because of that, you know?
And the fact that if somebody does kill it in response to the equip, you still just cast them for 2 again.
Yeah,
and then
doesn't matter that much.
You know,
you're asking a question every turn.
You're asking a question every turn, and eventually the answer will be no. I don't have removal.
And then I've got Whisper, so unblockable, untargetable, just absolutely huge threat. You know, Sickle Slicer is another one. This is a creature on a thing. It's 4 equip, so it's a lot.
Yeah,
but it kind of fits the bill. It's a card advantage, right?
Yeah,
you know, so this is good. There is, and at 4, I don't think there was anything at 4.
The only
except for Skinwing. Oh, well, actually, sorry.
Yeah,
there are all 3 of these. If we look at this, Volshock Splitter is a creature and an equipment, and the equip isn't that bad.
It's not that bad.
Trailblazer's Torch is initiative on something that that it's just
It
initiative,
has,
right?
yeah, and the fact that
Just find
he
the
has
land.
trample,
Yeah,
dealing 2 to each blocker means that you can't even line up stuff against him.
that's a good point. Yeah, we're playing that for sure. And the Volshock Splitter. Skinwing is 6 equip. I think that's what makes it. That's
makes
too much.
a cut.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, so we could go to CMC 5 here. I don't think there's anything else above this. So
yeah, I think we're done on the
we
equipment.
could do greater than or equal to greater than or equal to 5. No, there's nothing. Okay. So great. So we're back to the list here, and you can see we have 55 pieces of equipment. Just right there. Yeah, Slats, Trailblazers, Torch is an absolute must here for sure. And you can see I've already got these tagged. So let's talk about some creatures.
Yeah.
So we're going to go O, equipment, type creatures.
Or
so
just equip, actually. Can we just go to
equip? Yeah.
Because
there's a couple.
They reduce the equip costs.
Equip costs, yeah. So there's some really, there's some that I missed because of equip. Yeah, totally. So just right off the bat, some of these are going to be ones that you may recognize from the spoilers that I went through with Brubear recently. Bladegraft Aspirant is one of the nastiest commons printed in the whole set. Not because it's universally playable, but because the homes it does have it's just nuts. Like there's so much text on this. This is play it. Like in this deck, I had turns where I played this out on turn 3 and I equipped it with for free with Crystal Slipper, Bone Splitter, and Leather Armor. And I was just like,
swing for 7.
All of those one cost equipped, just go right on it immediately. Which is so strong. So we're going to play this. This is going to be an all-star. Yeah. Champion of the Flame is classic, Chad, common. Like
this can get it. This can get as big as Oxidda pretty easily.
Yeah, this is going to wrap like Signet. I mean, this is kind of like an Aura Gnarlid, you know, and it has evasion, it has trample built in. So I had one game where I equipped it with 2 things, and it was like a 7/5 trample. It was just like, oh my god. Goblin Gavalier, I think, is going to be interesting. Goblin Gavalier is going to die.
It is, but it's
gonna hit somebody like a truck.
Yep. Yeah. It's sort of like a fireball in that way, right? You're gonna spend 7 to 8 mana and deal about that much damage.
If you can give it first strike, it's a completely different story. But
yeah, that's very true.
This one I will be watching just because I think that unlike some of these other ones, it's not necessarily going to live. However, Slagwood Armor, done deal. This thing is no longer dying. We have all the Accorder shields, all the 0-cost cards buff toughness by a lot.
Yeah.
So I think this is still going to be a great card. Casual's Toll Collector is interesting because it's really only 1 equip. So we're going to like play it out, equip something, and then...
no, it's only at a sorcery speed. You can equip everything.
It's not 1 each turn.
It's not 1 each turn.
Oh god, yeah, this is great. Okay.
I think that we are playing some of the cheaper ones with the expensive equip costs.
Yep. And that's okay.
That's okay.
Especially with like the Accorder shields and stuff. Any of the 3s, it's going to be really nice. Mirror Adapter is kind of interesting in that like this is a card that needs other cards to be good. And I think that you could say the same about the Gavalier and the Toll Collector, but both of those are on rate, and Mirror Adapter is kind of not.
You need to equip it 3 times for it to be better than just a 3/3 for.
And maybe that's reasonable. Maybe
the plan is to have 5 or 6 equipment out, pretty early.
Yeah, I mean that could be fine. I mean, so what would be a scenario? We have Bone Splitter. Say we have a Quarter Shield, say we have like a Short Sword, okay? So that's +3/+3, so it's actually going to be a 4/4, it's a 6/4, it's a 6/7, it's a 7/7. So 7/7.
7/7, but the comparison there is the base stats, right? Because that could be any creature.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So it would be a 4/4, right?
Right. So it's only getting 1 more power for that.
Yeah.
It's iffy. It is a mirror though. And remember this is something we talked about before. There's an interesting interaction, new card in the set that tutors for mirrors. There's one particular mirror that's really good, and that is Mirror Enforcer. And with all the equipment in this deck, it's gonna be just so easy to turn on Affinity. And so there's gonna be times where we play that down, tutor up this or a mirror, tutor up mainly Mirror Enforcer, but having a backup mirror target would be good. Let's just throw it in for now. It may not make the cut, but Okay, so equip, and then I think that should catch everything that we're looking for. Let's do
Hmm.
T creature O draw, because what we're
Yep.
looking for is any one of the formulas I followed while helping somebody with I was helping let's see, I was helping Nate Diggity 7 tune Bruner Battlehammer, and when we were playing that, like what he had initially was more of like a Voltron, little bit more Voltron, and I think the power of those decks is in actually not loading up Bruner. And I should bring up Bruner here. I can't look. So Bruner Battlehammer basically is Boros, right? And he has a big buff when he's equipped, and he makes it so you can free equip things once a turn. And it's better to make Bruner like to cause cognitive dissonance for your opponent by loading up other creatures with the equipment, and then they have to decide between, do I stop the thing that is loading them up with equipment, or do I stop the thing that is killing me?
Right.
And if the thing that is killing you was small, efficient, drew you a card, then it feels really bad. Feels really bad.
Yeah.
So I think we do a similar thing here, where we want things that are going to give us some amount of value when they enter the battlefield, or they're going to recur some amount of value, and then we're going to load those up. So a good example of that would be like I actually considered Clockwork Fox, even though it's like gives your opponent cards. It's not.
Okay.
It draws 2 is the thing. Sometimes people look at like Arcane Denial and they say, "Oh, this is fine because you're," but this is giving it to everybody. So
Yeah, it's
we're
draw your
gonna
opponent's 3, which is, it's sort of
one
similar.
for each player. So I think what we're really looking for is like Filigree Familiar. And we got Finhorn Brownie saying, "Do you want Mirror Retriever in case you lose the key equipments?" We could, but I think that there's going to be so much redundancy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. The only like key equipments would be Whisper Silk Cloak, and maybe the Gavalier's Hammer.
Yeah, maybe Golem Skin Gauntlets,
Golem Skin Gauntlets. That's the
maybe Whisper Silk Cloak. There's a couple that are like pretty good, but like I think that we're ultimately going to be focusing on just on. It is like 2-mana ETB draw a card in a sense, but it's only if something has died.
Well,
if only an artifact,
dies, right?
Well, and it has to die too. Yeah, I just think there's too many boxes to check there with that card. Sky Scanner is absolutely going to be in the deck. Yeah, that's a really good one. I was looking at Destructive Digger. It's kind of expensive. It feels like it's playing too deep into the grinding plan. So
I think
I don't know.
We're going faster.
Yeah, we're going really fast.
This is than 6-mana draw card.
Yeah, we're going burr. By the way, we had Rager Bonsai just subscribed. Thanks for joining. Appreciate having you here. We also have Karnik also subscribed. Thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. We've got a new interface that allows me to see when people have subscribed. So I appreciate your all support and hope you're enjoying the content. And make sure to hit the little bell icon when you've gone to subscribe, so that you get notifications when I get inspired or a friend gets inspired and we want to do a video, because this wasn't on the schedule. So this is one of those things. Famished Forgers kind of caught my eye, because this is basically like a 1-mana 4/3 as a threat that could actually loot repeatedly later on if we have stuff that we don't need. And I presume that we're hitting people.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
It's kind of an interesting thought, because it's so inexpensive and so big.
It is so big, because we are going to be able to spend our mana because we have equipments out.
Yep.
Sometimes there's like you don't have cards in hand, so it doesn't actually do anything. But we have cards on field.
Yeah, exactly.
Is essentially how it works.
That's a really interesting conversation too to keep in mind, is that increasingly, like, we need to start thinking about card advantage in more nuanced terms. Because card advantage is sometimes like this blanket term. We say like, oh, this commander doesn't have any card advantage on it, so it's not good, or it doesn't have this or that. But there's more than card advantage in Magic. Board presence is a form of resource advantage. Card advantage doesn't really matter if you can't deploy your spells. So sometimes when you look at a control player and they've got a grip of 7 cards, but they're not doing anything with them, it's kind of like, so you've got options, but like until you're using them, it's not necessarily great. Whereas like looking at Rilsa Rail, where it's got a huge board presence that's retained because you buff them up with counters. So like counters are a card advantage. Any form of like equipment is card advantage. So we've got different forms of resource advantage in this deck. Yeah, exactly. So these loot cards, I'm not super high on the ETB loots, but they are a way to move through the deck.
I'm a little interested in Neonate.
Yep.
because it has menace.
Oh, menace is interesting. And then we
and
can
it
just get
loots
one.
if it dies. If it would
Okay.
die, you loot.
Yeah, yeah. It's like not a bad top deck later on. We can just kind of cycle it, right?
Yep, you just cycle it for
cycle it.
one.
Merchant of the Veil is actually really
I like
interesting.
that
This
one.
is 2 cards on 1, and it's got a repeat source, and it's we don't really care about creatures that have a lot of power because
Right.
we've got equipment that makes them big. So having
Yeah.
3 toughness is kind of nice. There's also like Aurea. This one too is interesting. It's again, this is so much better than this in a lot of ways because you're actually getting multiple spells off of it. Papercraft Decoy kind of caught my eye. If they block it and kill it, then we pay 2 to draw a card. But Anthony Kinese mentions Juggernaut. Let's see. We'll have to look and see. That's the one that has to attack every turn.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one is going to make the cut, just because we don't need big creatures. We just need
Right.
creatures that come in and give us something for our efforts, basically. So like Sky Scanner is perfect. Rambunctious Mutt does catch my attention because Unearth is haste.
Yeah.
And it's uncounterable.
I think that a lot of the time we do have haste in an equipment.
That's true. Yep, that's true.
But,
good point. So it's really just it's like
2 bodies for.
It is 2 bodies.
Right. Though it's expensive to equip an unearthed creature.
Yeah.
It's going to die. Right.
Yeah.
That's
so I think I don't think that makes the cut here. There are creatures that have double strike, and we didn't really look at that. So that's an interesting idea.
Double strike is scary.
Yeah, double strike is so we'll just do type creature O double. And so something like 3 mana is what we're going to be looking for, and they're always going to be 1/3s. We have a bunch of these that have been printed that are like that. This one is based on cards. This one's instants and sorceries. We're not going to get either one of those. But like Redcap, Shaman, Cerberus. What I like about these is that like we could have a turn where we actually, instead of loading up Oxidda, we just load up one of these, and then it's like there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then if the Oxidda isn't getting the heat, then like Oxidda's just big. Like it's just big. Like if we think about Twin Scroll Shaman, put Bone Splitter on it, it's swinging for 6.
Yeah.
That's a very, very like low it's a very like low opportunity cost on these cards. Yeah. So I think all 3 of them are worthy. I don't think the 4 mana ones are going to make it. This one needs mana to work.
That one's a lot.
It's really bad.
It dies to a lot less, but
yeah, it's true. Okay, so that's a good look there. We could also play something like Pilgrim's Eye, actually. Pilgrim's Eye is kind of interesting. So Pilgrim, yep. Yeah, so Pilgrim's Eye is giving us a land, which is decidedly worse than a card, I feel like, in a lot of cases. But if we play this out on 3, we're guaranteed, like we're going to play it on 4. We're going to play Oxidda on 4. And the reason for that is that Oxidda can also just be paid with mana. Like you don't need to have equipment to pay for it.
It doesn't need to go all the way to 2.
Yeah. Yep. And so then if you have a 4th land, so if you play this on 3, 4th land, and you have 3 artifacts in play, that's 7 for Oxidda. So I think Pilgrim's Eye is actually kind of fine there.
And it's a cheap evasive.
It's a cheap evasive creature. Namely, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Gives us a card. So Derek from the RC will be very pleased once he sees this to see both Sky Scanner and Pilgrim's Eye in the deck. Let's throw some mountains in here. And I think they're going to be snow covered. Right? Because we might have Scred.
Sure.
Yep. And what are we looking at? So we want to draw 2 lands in our opening hand, probably.
Yeah, you want 3 lands on 3.
So 32 snow-covered mountains.
Should I run the?
We can. I think so. We have a number that I use. Well, so yeah, we could. Yeah, if you've got it on your phone, we could do that. We can also look down here and see this says 2.24 lands per opening hand. Like, look at this hand.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 101 cards. We're gonna take a moment, okay, and let's just
I don't think we're there yet, but
we're not there yet. But let me. It's gonna cut off some of the screen, so pardon me. I don't have another scene set up for this, so we're gonna go play test, and it's gonna be a little weird. So just forgive me for that. We're gonna have these right here. I'm gonna hold these out so that you can see the hand, and then I'll play them out above that. This is like a turn. Is this a turn 3 Oxidda? So we go draw, play land. That 3rd land is huge. So we're gonna go Bonesaw. We're gonna play Dark Steel because that's the unique one, and then we're gonna draw. Oh, that was so good. So now we go. You can see this is gonna be like a turn 3 Oxidda. 1, 2, dagger, hover sail, and then draw, land into Oxidda. Well, actually, we could even go, let's see, 1, no, so we can't play 1 out because it needs to be 1 mana to be free.
Yeah.
So we play out Oxidda, and then next turn, look at this, like we are all,
He's now flying unblockable.
Yeah, this is flying unblockable with this right here.
It's more mana than we have to equip, but
so we go 1 for this, and then we're probably gonna go the hover sail.
The hover
1,
sail.
2, and then the
bone saw.
The bone saw,
just
like that.
Most. Or is the spare dagger is the same, right?
Same. Oh, and it's got another ability, I guess. So we'll do spare dagger on there. We're just gonna line it up side by side with it so you can see all the things that are on it.
And you're swinging for a 9/5.
Yeah, 9/5 flying here, trample. And then the other thing is that we have in hand the means for if it dies, we just play more equipment out, and he's already back to 2. So we draw for turn. Say he dies. Okay, so say he dies there.
I think it's pretty reasonable that he does.
Yeah, I tend to assume when I'm goldfishing that the worst happens, and then I play it out that way. So we're gonna go. Let's go the haste stuff, and then actually we've already got flying. Well, we can give flying and haste. So that one, and then echo circulate, I think, is what we want there. So that's all of our mana. And then we go next turn. I mean, this is
he costs 7 less, so he costs 2 mana.
He's 2 mana. Here he's back.
And we give him flying and haste.
And we give him flying and haste. I mean, the funny thing is, so there's
with just the
flying and haste here, and then we equip for 1 to give him the
it's an equip
the
2
kunai.
to actually with the flying haste is an equip 2.
Oh, so we only have enough for the flying haste.
Just the flying haste,
which is fine.
That killed somebody.
Yeah, this is
probably
probably
for
dead.
The 16th. You swung for 9 before, and now it's 7.
And now we're on turn 5. So and then we're gonna untap. This land is actually kind of fine. And what you're seeing here is that like we don't have a ton of cards in hand, but everything we have in play, it's not going away. Like mass artifact removal does not exist in this format. So every one of these is like a permanent reduction on his cost, and it's card advantage. Right. Every single one of these is just cards,
like, but we're still spending.
But we're still playing cards,
making the board better.
Yeah,
you know,
like look at this. We play these out here. We've got a creature now. We can like diversify.
Suit up.
We suit this up. Oh yeah, for sure. We make this huge.
And you make that as big as you can get it.
Flying, unblockable, dark steel axe. You know, like at this point, we might even just like sandbag this if we get like a Merchant of the Veil or something.
Sure. Yeah.
We could hold on to it.
We have one more land in our hand. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, he's like a little Godo.
Still spending.
Anthony Canese says he's like a little Godo. I think we're gonna pin that particular comment. That's the most accurate thing said so far. Okay, and then so like what we're seeing here is just that this is like this is
That's
so
a really
fast.
Aggressive hand.
This is so fast. Okay, so we go 1 into Bone Splitter because that's the best one.
Yeah.
We're gonna go 2 into let's do Slag. Well, actually, Slag and then Rune Stalactite. We do want to hit a 3rd land here. We didn't get it, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna go 1 and then we're gonna go 2 and then that's Oxidda on turn. Yeah, I mean this is Oxidda right there.
Yep.
MONKE is coming, and here's
2 mana Oxidda.
Here he is. Yep.
And he's got a Bone Splitter.
Yeah, we could do Bone Splitter. See if we played 1, 2, 3. We could have also played one of these out, one less, and then banked on a land.
I think I'm okay with equipping here, though.
Yeah, and we just go Gauntlets.
Oh, is Gauntlets 1 to equip?
Well, it's going to be... it's 2.
Yeah, but it can equip for like
Bone Splitter.
6 or 7 damage.
Crazy. You know what's funny here too? I was realizing that Stalactite also gives it all creature types, which means it doesn't die to Rend Flesh. It doesn't die to Eyeblight's Ending. It doesn't die to Victim of Night, and it doesn't die to there's a couple of other not like creature specific ones that it protects it from. So it's kind of like a secondary thing. But FP Han, welcome to chat. Perfect. It's a little Godo. Yep. Excellent comparison. But Godo don't cost 2 mana, do he now? This is 2 mana. Yeah. So this is no lands. We can't do that. This is 32 lands, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just kind of skeet shooted that, but this Look at the zeros and ones, and we have a redraw.
You have a redraw, so you pitch.
Never ever punished.
Never ever punished.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this turn was permanent for ritual.
Yes.
This was literally like calling the week, but more. This was calling the week, but it's just forever for our commander. So then we go 1. Oh man, this is so disgusting. So we go 1, 2, and I think what we want to do is cycle this potentially.
Yeah, I think that's.
Although we could look at it and just say like, yeah, because we do want another equipment, right? So we're gonna go on an adventure. Oh, this is all off of the screen. I just realized. So because of the chat, you can't see all of this because my viewing setup. I've been messing with my interfaces a lot lately because I'm trying to get it all dialed, and so yeah, it's a little messy. So this is hand down here. This is what's in play. So we're gonna pitch one of these. It feels weird. It feels weird to pitch the harm. Well, so if we played the aspirant, we're gonna be able to. We won't be able to equip. We'll be able to equip Bonesaw
for 0. I mean, but like it's still just a lot of equips.
Yeah, this is like leaning on the aspirant instead of the Oxidda,
right? It's not. They don't all equip for free, but they all equip. It's 4 mana less to equip.
Sure. What's up, Gatorbait? Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hey. I think this is tough to decide, like which one we're playing. Maybe we don't. Is there a chance that we just like
keep that?
We just like leave this in hand and then?
I think that's okay.
I mean, we really want another land.
We want another land or a 1-drop equipment this turn.
This one right here is the least premium.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go on an adventure. Well. We're gonna draw. Okay, that was good.
And then
Tormentor's
we got that
Helm.
And we played that out.
Yep, exactly. Right? Well, no. So this was we had 1 mana for Flare Husk, 1 mana for.
Oh, okay.
Haggle.
We'd already played that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now we're drawing into a Rune Stalactite, but like this is turn 3, and now Oxidda is like castable, right? 1, 2. Yeah, we've got plenty there. We can draw. This is.
That. Oh no, you can't play that for 0 because you already have.
Because we need the Oxidda. Yeah.
It's already as reduced as it gets on turn 3.
So we got Oxidda. This is definitely one of the more anemic ones because we really, I think we kind of wanted.
A creature.
We do have a creature. That is true. Yeah, we have this as well. So we could have actually. There's maybe a world
I think
where
you equip Oxidda, but like.
Yeah. There's a world where instead of Oxidda, you just like load this up maybe and hit people. But I think Oxidda is what we're here to do. So. Next turn, we're going to get a Sickle Slicer. Not fantastic. We're choked on lands here, but the other ones we got some pretty good runs. So we'll restart this one again. This is another example hand of what we've got. So we've got a 1, a 1, a 1, and then 2 and a 3. This is actually really gas. Yeah. So we're going to draw fleet. Oh, hasten. No, okay, so we're going to go land. Let's go with the Sylvok Lifestaff. And then we'll draw. Land was an amazing draw.
Great.
So we're going to go 1, 2 here, like that. And this is setting us up for turn 3 Oxidda, I think. Oh no, we needed a 0 or a 1. No, it would be a 0. It would have to be a 0. So I think what we do here is we go
Haunted Cloak.
You could go Haunted Cloak.
Or the Pilgrim's Eye.
Pilgrim's Eye
gets you the land for next turn, which lets.
Let's see, 3, 4. So what the high roll would be Haunted Cloak. You draw a land. Yeah,
which just happens.
Just happens.
And then you're attacking with a Vigilant 7/5.
Gross.
And you have 1 mana left. Actually,
1, 2. Yep. So 1 for Haunted Cloak, right? Yep. And then we hit. And then
you can equip the life staff as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3 to play.
1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then draw. Ooh, very cool. We got a double striker. So I think in this case we do want to play out more stuff just so that if he does die, then we can recast him. So it's like Gold Vein pick into equip so that he can make a treasure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just make that treasure here, so it'd be 1, 2. Did we play the Gold Vein? 1, 2, 3. Equip. We've got 2, and then we can go 1, 2. Or we could go 1, 2 Fleet Feather Sandal, which is basically replacing this. It's kind of a like insurance for Oxidda.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Both
then,
of them reduce, like, both of them either pay for his costs. Yeah.
Yep. Pilgrim's Eye, like that. Gonna go, and I actually like Pilgrim's Eye quite a lot here.
Yeah.
I think it's doing something that we find really important. So there,
Yeah.
and then we go. This is in hand currently. This is away.
Right.
So we could go.
Suit him up with 2 more things.
I think we just go flying.
Oh, flying. He doesn't have flying.
Yeah, go flying here. Alternatively, we hit, and if we connect, we make the treasure. And if we don't equip that, okay. So if this is unequipped, and then we go 1, 2, 3 treasure double striker.
Yeah.
Alternatively,
Okay.
Diversify the threats even more. So this is just like a really cool look at how card advantage can be.
Right.
Right.
We're out of cards, but we're not out of game actions.
We're not out of game actions. No.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's go back though, because we're not done with the deck.
No, this was just our first, like,
just pass through on like no interaction, no nothing. Okay, so we're at 101 cards there. I think there's a couple more cards in considering that I had looked at, and there's a bunch that you've got good ideas on too. So some good ones here. Mirror Enforcer is going to be free a lot of times, or very cheap.
It's got affinity for the same thing that our commander does.
Yep. Sojourner's Companion, same reason.
Yeah.
Experimental Synthesizer is both a creature and a draw to. Basically,
it is.
This is like a very, it's basically staple. Like this synth is just, you play it.
Oh, we should search for modified creatures in addition to the.
Oh, yep. So there,
Keeper.
Yeah, there's one here that I had. This one, yep. This is the one that we want in the deck, and the reason we want the Ember Keeper is because every time something dies that's equipped, we're going to get a 1/1 back, which means that we're constantly getting our threats back, which means we can constantly suit them up and do stuff with them.
Right.
So
Every
I think this is great.
Still a threat because we can suit it up and make it a 4/4/5/5, something like that.
It's really nice. Now, what happens when something like a... Oh, interesting. Yeah, slats, absolutely. We'll have Galvanic Blast too. We're not there yet to the removal, but we're going to go through the creatures. Goblin Chirurgeon, that's how you say it, by the way. This is like an old, I think it's like old French or English, that basically it means surgeon. It's like a battlefield surgeon. So it's Chirurgeon. So yeah, I think we play this. This is like one of the few ways in red to protect things. It's just regenerate. It does take it out of combat, which is worth mentioning, but it's also a creature, so we can just suit it up.
Yep.
And we've got I think we have some other goblins in the deck that we can sack. Yep, FP Han, we will get to Fling as well. We'll definitely get there.
Oh.
Don't you worry. Fling, Soulfire, things like that are all on the table.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of duplicates in considering here, unfortunately, because this is like the old thing. So Filigree's already in. Goblin Matron does tutor up for Goblin Gavalier. It tutors up Chirurgeon. That's probably good enough.
If it tutors up the Chirurgeon, it is then another goblin to sack to the Chirurgeon.
Oh, that's even better. That's a nice play.
It's 4 mana, get 2 Chirurgeons.
It also gets the double striker, the red cap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is great, and really this is no different than a Phyrexian Rager in a sense. Like it's 1 mana or 3 mana body that draws a card.
Yeah, and it draws a good card.
Draws a very good card. Yeah. The Skull Collector's in there, Sky Scanner, Pilgrim's Eye. I had Ardent Elementalist in here for a little bit. I think it's a little too expensive, but the idea of being able to get back like a Soulfire or a Double Strike spell is definitely interesting.
Speaking of which, we should add the Double Strike spells.
Yes. Again, so we have a couple of things to get through here, as you all can see. Let me just get the chat here is a little bit funky, a little funkalicious. There we go.
Edict Fodder is very important on the the Aki Ember.
Yeah, Edict Fodder is definitely going to be an important part of this. Frogmite is going to be a free threat, and in some ways Frogmite might be better than Mirror Enforcer, because Frogmite is always going to be free. Mirror Enforcer could be dead in hand. We don't care how big our threats are, right? Like in some ways.
It's true.
So there is like an element of just getting on board. It's not giving us anything in return.
It doesn't give you anything back, whereas...
But what if we did a turn...
does... like... With no assistance, the Enforcer's a 4/4.
Yeah, the Mirror Enforcer is going to be the best draw on like turn 5.
Yeah.
Whereas Frogmite is going to be like 0. If we go 0 drop, 1 drop, turn 2, 2 more 1 drops, Frogmite's free.
Yeah.
Which is worth considering. I think There's a part of me that thinks this is potentially better, but maybe we want all of them. Stirring Bard, absolutely. Forge is so good. Goad is so good. Trap is so good. Everything about this. Dargo gains menace and oh yeah.
Right?
Okay,
like
this is
the
dead
words,
easy.
Yeah, that word. Yeah.
Volshock Splitter, we've already got in. Shrine Steward was one that I was looking at. Shrine Steward is 5 mana, so I'm kind of re-looking at it and thinking this isn't good enough. And the reason being is that auras are not card advantage the same way equipment is. They do go away forever when the thing dies. There's one aura that I'm interested in, and it's the Brute. And the Brute is a way to protect something. But again, it's regenerate, so it's taking it out of combat. I think that we just say if the Oxidda dies in combat, we recast it. Recast it, give it haste. Like, we don't care. I mean, we do, but like we want it to connect, but I think that it's not a problem if it doesn't. Double Strike is insane. I think Assault Strobe is going to be like potentially like turn 4 kills in a lot of cases. Like all you need is +1 power, and it's lethal. So this one,
like 35 to wait, what did we say? 50 equipment?
Oh yeah, and most of them give +1 power. Like, yeah, all these are great. Uncaged Fury, you don't even need it. Uncaged Fury is just dead, just lethal on 1 card. That's crazy. That is so powerful. So those are all good. We've got Forgotten Cave. I think we play that. The I was looking at the Autonomous Furnace as well as being the tap land is something we might not want, but I think
it does ruin the turn 3 curve, but it doesn't ruin a turn 4 curve.
Might be a bit slow though if we play this. So like later on, it's not really drawing us a card, which is like if we don't really want to play this early, we don't want to draw it early. This is really like a control deck card, so I think we're going to leave this out for now. Sticky Fingers is another option, gives it menace and then makes treasure, so it's basically the 1 mana version of
and it replaces itself.
Yeah. Yep, we could play the Monarch Orc. That's an option as well. And actually, yeah, if you just take the reins here real quick, I'm gonna get some webcam stuff here.
Yeah. So I don't know that I'm fully on for the Sticky Fingers. It's a very good card, but it makes the timing for removal is even better on it. With removing your commander as well as removing the Sticky
You're like
Fingers.
Incentivizing a 2-for-1 kind of.
You're incentivizing the 2-for-1 quite a lot, and the 1-for-1 is already pretty enticing. So getting any other card on it is pretty good.
Yep. The only question is like people don't know who you're coming at. So sometimes there will be times where people say, I don't know who it's coming at, or they believe they're the ones that you're coming at and they have removal. Then they get the 2-for-1 on you. And then in other cases, they won't know who it's coming for and they'll just allow it to happen, which is better for sure. So Sticky Fingers might be on the fence because of that variance. Reckless Impulse is an easy include. This is just like one of the best draw spells right now in the format, really. Like 2 mana draw 2 with no drawback is like crazy.
It is, and it is fully draw 2 because like we're playing like 31
cheap
drops
stuff.
or something like that.
There's going to be times where we cast that and we get 0 drops off the top too, which will be so sick. I think the Tavern Brawler is just another form of card advantage. And it's going to be good. It's not going to be a huge buff, but it's card advantage.
You can cast every card in the deck most of the time.
So the Mere Kinsmith, I don't think we play this now that I'm looking at it. It's 4 mana.
So it finds Mere Enforcer and
the adaptive automaton.
Yeah, that's.
And if that's the case, the adaptive automaton is probably not like gonna.
That was a card we were questioning, anyways.
I think we're gonna have we're gonna have more of the cards that we can play by quite a bit.
Yeah, the only upside here is that it's 2 bodies.
Yeah, because the Mere Kinsmith, and there's other things too. Like, we could there's like Blades of Velasvel type stuff where it's just like changeling type things. I don't know what other changelings there are, but I don't know. I just think it's maybe a bit middling. I think we already have this covered. We've already done this.
Yeah,
we've already done this here. We've done Dragon Breath we don't have in here, which I'm sorry, we do. We both knew about it. We were thinking about it. It's just we just hadn't scrolled through it.
This was the thing
yet.
that we were talking that I thought we were talking about this card when we were talking about Shrine Steward.
Dragon Breath has a really powerful interaction with this deck, which is that our commander is more than 6 mana, and so every time he comes in, you're going to get haste and fire breathing. And in some cases, you will just be able to pump it to lethal.
Yep.
You know, say you hit somebody and they blocked with something so that it wasn't exactly like 7 damage. Maybe you only dealt like 4. And then the next time, like eventually you come out, you play it. You've got some extra red mana because it was like 2 to cast, and then you've got maybe 4 open. They're just dead. It's just lethal. They just hit them for 11 and they're gone. So that one's really pretty scary. And then so this is a funny section here, but this is protection, and this is because this is a deck. Mono red decks traditionally cannot handle having Oubliette put on their commander. This deck actually can. We don't have to be an Oxidda deck. Like
everything's a threat.
Everything is a threat, right? So it's a little bit less bad, but I think that playing some stuff that says you kill my thing, I kill yours, by sacking it on the stack is potentially good. I think we're only going to want the 2 mana ones. Fiery Conclusion, Fling is going to be insane in some cases. We'll just like kill somebody with this.
It might kill 2 people.
It might kill 2 people. Like hit one person lethal and then lethal somebody else. Yeah. This is probably going to be lethal, not through command, like not just as like you like hit somebody, you don't kill them with commander damage. Maybe hit them for 10 and then you fling it and it's another 10 and it wasn't commander damage, but it's 20. So like they're dead. So I think that's good. Heartfire is also amazing. This is 2 mana, deal 4 to any target, which is great. Both collateral in that one. Yeah. Are you having hesitations about some of those?
I am having hesitations about some of those. I think that Oubliette's happen, and it's obviously awful for you. But it's not going to happen every game. And I can't think of a lot of other situations where that is the card that I want. There's a couple of other transform cards that are also quite bad for you.
I mean, the thing is that the transform cards aren't, though.
Right. It still deals commander damage. Like, it's just deep freeze,
It's just deep freeze,
Deep freeze and Oubliette.
Deep freeze and Oubliette. And frankly, like, when I'm looking at a Dargo, that's what I want for it. So, like, it's not just that it's, like, that it's the worst card for you to get, but it's also because it's the best card for them to get for your thing, right? Like it's like highly appealing to just say your commander that you get every turn that keeps coming out with haste, that keeps demanding my removal, no longer does that, right? And then I can deal with the other things, right? Like if I'm playing Thrall Parasite, the one thing I care about is the Oxidda, because the other stuff I can gain life probably and not worry about it, but the commander damage is basically infect. So I put Shiny Impetus in here too. Was an interesting thought to goad and buff somebody else's creature and give us treasures as a form of like removal that also pressures our opponent's life total. As a thought,
like, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's kind of 3 mana kill something, but it's like attacking everyone else.
The thing, the part that I don't think that this is the best removal that Red has options to.
It's inefficient comparatively to the 1 and 2 mana stuff for instant speed,
or the board wipes.
Yeah, or the board wipes. So maybe it doesn't make the cut. Because really, like, it's going to be a matter of like that versus some of this other stuff. Like Bloodfire Infusion is one that I think is really exciting in the deck.
Absolutely, you can kill everything with a 1/1.
Yep. This one deals damage to each creature. So we could consider this, or we have so many ways to give flying. What if we played only the things that only hit non-flying things? So this one does kill all of our own stuff too.
Well, only if you equip it to the Oxidda. You don't have to equip it to the Oxidda because you can suit up a creature to a 4/4 and kill all the 4/4s.
That's a really good point. I like Bloodfire Infusion too because this is Oubliette protection. If you have 1 mana up, you can sack it in response, right? Which means they will never put it on your creature unless it is the only removal spell they have, and they have to do it. So I think this is a great card. Breath Weapon and Fiery Cannonade are good too. There is a part of me that thinks maybe that people just die first, but like, you know,
I think I would rather have them in.
We have the option.
Yeah,
we have the option to fight with fight the reprisals because people will come after us when we're hitting them. We got Slat saying, "What about makeshift munitions for protection? Since you can also fling your equipment for that last points of damage." So we talked about makeshift munitions a little bit beforehand. I like makeshift munitions. It's a powerful card. It's really good reach. It's very flexible. It's very dead in a lot of cases. Early game, we never want to have it in our opening hand. I like that it is Oubliette protection. There is that. We don't really want to throw our equipment at people.
Right, because it costs us the end state of not being able to kill our commander.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I hear you on that, and we did talk about it a little bit, and I think it's worth considering if you're in a meta where everybody's playing black, then I don't know,
all
you
gut decks or something.
Yeah,
if everybody
yeah.
has 1/1s.
But I would almost
around.
argue if everybody's playing black in your meta, if you've got a really heavy black meta, I don't know that this is even. I mean, this is better against removal than it is against counter spells in a sense, but like, yeah, I think that's the way I would look at that. Is it's less about maybe whether everybody's playing Oubliette, but it's more about just like this card is really bad in a lot of cases, and we want our cards to have a little more play. Expedition map. The reason I put this one in here was for Study Hall and for Opal Palace.
Okay.
And I think it's also, it can cycle to pick up like a Forgotten Cave in certain instances to get a draw. It's expensive draw, but it is something we can do.
Like 4 mana.
Opal Palace is really good, and we're going to cast our
Opal Palace
Chromatis.
is very good.
Yeah. Opal Palace is basically like 1 mana, get several Bone Splitters for free.
Yeah.
Like we have to play Bone Split. Like, yeah, Opal Palace is insane in this deck.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
you're expecting your commander to get removed.
Yep.
A few times. Like more than once or twice.
And Study Hall kind of is the same. Study Hall in a deck like this with no card advantage in it basically is like insane. And a lot of times we'll probably, if we don't have enough mana, we have to prioritize. We might prioritize Study Hall instead.
Sure.
Right, because we've got equipment in play.
Big, right? Yep. It's already quite large.
We got Great Furnace in here. Dwarven Mine was another one I looked at too. If we have 3 or more mountains, we make a 1/1 creature. Right, not bad.
It's
just
not
like
bad.
A free body.
Yeah, like, and we're still going to have a ton of mountains.
And you have to remember too, some cards are bad early on, right? But most cards aren't in your opening hand. In fact, if you think about it, most cards aren't even in your first 10.
Yeah.
Right, and 90% of your cards aren't in your first, or 80% of your cards aren't in your first 20. So your odds of actually drawing Dwarven Mine are better for when you actually get the benefit. So
it's true.
I think this one's good.
Yeah, and you like, if you need it, if you need that 1/1, you can sandbag it, and if you need a land, you can just play it.
Right? Yep, that's right.
It does have modality a little.
So let's cut this down here to that. And then we're back to lands. I do have Darksteel Citadel here. I don't think we need it, right?
We just have 2 affinity creatures, right? This is because it's not affinity for artifacts, it's affinity for equipments.
I mean, red isn't that important in the deck. And if it helps affinity, then maybe that's like worth it.
That's true. Like all the equipments are playable, and all of the equip costs are.
Yep. Okay, so that's like all the ones we had in considering, but you had a couple more too, which was Bloodfire, Dwarf. So Dwarf, basically anything that's off of like power of the creature is something we could like look up to.
The thing that we wanted, that
Bloodfire Dwarf, yeah. Oh wait, no, this one actually isn't what we want. I thought this was the one that's the power of the creature. So power type creature.
We also have all of the pingers that we don't have in the deck now.
Pingers?
Whenever an artifact, casting an artifact pingers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you were bringing up that and you know what's cool about these two is that those creatures are so fragile, and we have so much equipment that makes them not fragile. Yeah, this is actually something that we should put in here too. So I just wanted to look and see if there was anything where it was like, and I know there's a couple of them. Yeah, these ones here. So the Laccolith Whelp is an interesting card. This is the way this reads is that when it becomes blocked, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to target creature. If you do, it deals no combat damage. Target creature means any creature. You don't have to do it to the blocking creature.
And or the defending creature the defending player.
These might be better than any of the removal spells we have, because these are like, if we need to deal
we have a lot of toughness buffs.
Yeah,
We might have as many toughness buffs as we do power buffs.
Yep. I think both of these are really interesting. By the way, that little tidbit, I do want to give credit to that Noyark. Let me know about how that works. It's target creature. It doesn't have to be the blocking one. So these are great. I'm really high on that right now.
Like you can teamwork and kill things.
Molten Monstrosity for
That's
1.
A 1 mana 5/5 trample. Yeah.
So wait. So turn 3. Turn 3 we go Oxidda into Molten Monstrosity.
Yeah.
Off of enough 1-drops.
Yeah.
So
you need
0, 1.
You need 2 0-drops.
So you go 0, 1. Turn 2. 0, 1, 1.
Yeah.
Land. Molten Monstrosity Oxidda.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, dude. That is so much damage.
That's a lot.
Oh god.
Making 12 trample
Ooh,
damage.
I forgot about formidable and ferocious. Which we should look at too. If you have 8 power or greater, it gains first
Spike
strike.
Shot Goblin has a similar.
That's the one I was looking for.
That's the one you were looking for. Yeah.
That's really gross.
That's great. Yep.
So are we like mono red control now with these cards? Like
no, we're playing a 7/5 for 2.
Yeah,
I want to control that.
But these are nasty. This is really good.
Gross.
This is good. And you know what's funny? It doesn't need a lot to be a bolt. You just bone splitter, and it's already like a bolt.
Yep.
You know, so
every turn bolt.
Yeah. And then what was we were looking for? Can we just look for ferocious? Ferocious. Yeah. Oh, ferocious.
Yeah, we already played TBR.
No, and then the other one was formidable. Just that one. Okay. Cool. What were the other things we were going to look at that you were just pointing out?
The pingers.
The pingers. Oh yeah. So firebrand. So it's going to be O non-creature type creature O damage like that, and this is going to bring up the ones. So it's going to be firebrand, Kessig Flame Breather. I don't think Scamp.
There is also artifact ones.
Yeah, that's right. Artillerist and Reckless. Yeah.
I don't think I like Stallblaze Camp much. It only deals.
It's only one a turn. Yeah, not going to work. So we want
just change non-creature to artifact.
Oh yeah. How are we doing on time, by the way? Okay, cool. Ingenious Artillerist. This is another example. Ingenious Artillerist suffers from being a 3/1.
But we can make it a 3/5.
3/5. Like, you know, like that's one of the things that's kind of sad about them is in aggro decks, you can't swing with them. And so they do a lot of damage, but you can't swing. And that's not the greatest. So we did look at this one, Krarklan Shaman. This kind of falls into a bit of the makeshift munitions area.
We can give it flying.
Oh, our stuff has flying too.
We can
give it flying.
Give it flying.
Oh, give it flying. So for those of you who don't know, this is each creature without flying. So it's a repeatable one. And it's just a body. It doesn't need to do anything. It can just chill.
It can attack you and kill you.
And this is
it's a body.
the most oppressive answer to a gut player.
Oh yeah.
Like the gut player will have to kill this or they will never, ever, 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 ever hit you. Yeah. They will do your bidding. Yep. You say, you get to keep having things until I say you don't. And this is all instant speed, no mana, anything. Right. And if you give it flying, then you get to keep it and it doesn't kill itself.
You can do it a couple times.
Sick.
Over multiple turns.
Oh, I forgot about this pinger. This is a new one. Sack an artifact, deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it gets +1/+1. It's kind of a cool card. Not for this deck, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think it's this deck.
Yeah. And then Reckless Fireweaver, again, is going to be amazing here. So we are actually way above 100 cards now.
Yeah, we went up a lot.
Damn. So I was thinking this was going to be really easy, and it's like, it's kind of not.
We smooth range.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of testing there. So, okay. I think all of this is great. Yeah. All of this is very premium. Double Strike is all premium.
Definitely.
These draw spells are all great. Tavern Brawler. No, this is just draw 1 every turn, right?
Draw 1 every turn.
Yeah. And every turn that Oxidda's in play. We do have to keep that in mind. It's easy to redeploy Oxidda, but this is on upkeep.
Oh, it's on upkeep. Yeah, you're right. It's not at the beginning.
I don't think this is going to make it.
Yeah.
And it's only to our commander. Yeah, it's only to our commander. Yeah, so I think we're going to pull Tavern Brawler. It's so funny. Tavern Brawler would be great in the command zone in certain decks. Yeah. But in the 99, I haven't found a deck where I really, really, really like it. Yeah, even in
really
Levon,
close here to me.
It's really close. Yeah, it might be good, but it's also 3 mana too. So
we have a lot of equipment.
Yeah, Utility Knife is one that we could look at. It's a 3 equip
because it has the same problem of it comes into attach.
Yeah,
which we were talking.
That's
about.
right. That's right. So we do. So what we really want is things that are like cheap with cheap equip. Because we want to play them and then equip them for cheap later on. Yeah. So is there anything else that falls into that same category of being expensive to equip? Dueling Rapier is a bit of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Dueling Rapier.
I think I don't like Dueling Rapier.
4 to equip is a
so
lot.
Much mana.
2 to equip is fine. 3 for a quarter shield's a lot, but it's a 0.
The 0 drops, I think we just have to keep the 0 drops
we do.
Because that lets you do the turn 3 thing.
Boots of Speed is probably this is looking to be like one of the best equipments we've got. This is really sick.
So good.
This unlocks some disgusting turns.
It makes him a 2-shot.
Liquid Metal Torque
And-
could be good ramp. I don't think that card is legal. I believe that is an uncommon. Okay, so we've got this 1, 2, 2, 3 for Whisper Silk, but
Whisper Silk is like
it's just worth
is
it.
expensive, but it like
Yeah,
it's our
worth
top
it.
end card, and that's okay.
Okay, so now let's go into removal and sweepers, and we're going to add the cards in that don't have a home yet, which is these untagged creatures. I don't think Neonate's going to make the cut.
No,
I think this card was fun to think about earlier.
It's a card that I enjoy, but no, you're right, it doesn't.
Oh, we can actually go over here and do sweepers. So it is a creature, and it's also we'll have to go back and
That one's
So,
removal.
yeah, this is removal and a creature. Removal creatures like that, and we're gonna copy that because we're gonna do this a couple times. It's gonna be the Laccolith Grunt is gonna be the same way, and the Spike Shot Goblin. Spike Shot Goblin was a great find. That's also tutorable with Goblin Matron.
It is.
Oh, I'm excited about this. I want to play this deck.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so slappy.
Yeah, it's gonna kill people.
This is gonna kill people. Yeah.
MONKE.
Harambe. This deck should be called Harambe's Revenge. Oh my god. Hashtag Harambe in chat. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. We got pingers too, which are gonna be creatures plus pingers. Like that. And then, I should have saved it, but okay, we'll do creatures, we'll do pingers like that. And I think these are going to be great for potentially killing people who are not taking your commander damage, but being pressured by somebody else, right? Like these are going to accidentally kill people. Yeah. Merchant of the Veil might not make the cut. Mirror Adapter is looking increasingly like doo-doo.
We didn't put the tutor in anyways.
No, I think these double strikers are probably just too good to not play. Like they're so scary with such a small amount of work. Yeah. Famished Foragers probably. I mean, it is like
more questionable.
We could, you could see a turn.
We have 32 cards.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is the answer. Is that we have 32 more cards to cut. The Famished Foragers doesn't make it. I don't think
let's
Veil.
Not overthink those.
I don't think Veil makes it either. What else have we got? More of this. So untagged artifacts. So Adventure Gear. This is 1 and 1. So this is going to be great. This is going to be equipment.
Just drag these.
I can just drag these 1 to 1. Hedron Blade is 1 and 2. For +1/+1, and it doesn't give us anything else.
Yeah,
I think we can
colorless creature
put that in considering.
A 1/1. No.
We have a lot of flying too.
I do like flying.
It's really good. Ninja's Kunai goes in. This is removal and equipment. Equipment and removal. We actually have a surprising amount of just incidental removal in the deck. This is also not necessarily premium. Shard of Broken Glass was good. I like this one, 1/1, right?
Yeah.
Equipment. And then we have Skybinder Staff, which is starting to look kind of sad.
Great.
Yeah, equip for 3 is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Slagwood Armor is going to be equip for 3, but you know what? This is
where every creature becomes repeatable. It's going to hit you every turn. You have to actually remove it.
Yeah.
You can't trade with it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use a removal spell on my little dummy.
You put it on anything and it's not going to be dying to things.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to spend a removal spell on my Aki.
Yeah. Ember Keeper spirit token or something,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, not good. Echo Circulate, I think, is looking kind of like excessive. Like it's nice, but look how many bodies.
It doesn't really go in.
Look at all the creatures. We have 31. That's way more creatures than I thought we were going to have. So I think Echo Circulate's fine, like a good card, and it's not that bad to equip. But it's like we're going to have blockers.
I think Sickle Slicer, while it does the thing, 4 mana is a lot for 2/2.
Sickle Slicer, and we have other bodies. This effect is no longer premium,
bodies, right? I think that we can maybe cut some of our bodies, but
Gilded Pinions is it is ramp, with flying.
It's
on rate.
Kind of a 2 mana. one to equip.
This is kind of
flying,
like
which is-
cobbled wings in a
yeah,
sense.
right.
Um, I kind of like it,
I kind of
but
like it.
it's also
Yeah.
and it is an equipment, which is interesting. Like it, I just like it could just be a oh, of course it's equipment because it equips. Yeah, never mind. Heart piercer bow. I think that this
Oh,
is
this
like
is it.
really really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super good.
And the reason that we were talking about this before was just because it mows down things like gut, and gut decks are literally everywhere right now, and it's important to prepare for them. Like,
Yeah.
and even black decks, if you're in a gut heavy meta, consider playing Suffocating Fumes in the matchups where you don't have a gut player. You just cycle it for 2.
And in response to that, a lot of people are playing smaller creatures.
There's a
to just
lot of elf
play-
strategies right now.
Yeah, so you kill the little
Yep.
elves, and that works too.
Dude, this is
Right.
one of the things, one of the reasons, I'll be honest, that I don't like playing elf-based strategies, elf ball, you know, with like arbor elves, land untappers, auras and stuff, is that when somebody sweeps the board, which just will happen, it's
Mhm.
like the deck plays in some ways less lands because of all these ramp spells, and then you're losing them.
Yeah.
It's not like mana
It's
rocks, they
removable
stick around
ramp.
forever. And you lose so much when that happens that the upside is, oh, you have Priest of Titania or something like that, and then you go
Which
crazy.
is like a very reasonable upside.
It's a very reasonable thing, and the ramp is harder, but you
Yeah.
just I hate losing it so much. I just wanted to take a moment to just thank everybody who is still here and enjoying the content. If you would take a moment and do the free thing, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, to see more of this kind of content. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you do feel it in your heart and it's in your budget to do so, feel free to also explore the join function and become a member of the channel. We have 4 different tiers with a bunch of just different great offerings for you as a community member. Clay and I were talking about the fact that if everybody in the Discord server donated $1, that would be $460, and that would more than cover the amount of time that I'm putting into making this content for you. So consider supporting us if it's in your ability to do so, and I really appreciate you being here. So let's keep on with it, but I just wanted to express gratitude there for a moment. Sparring Collar, First Strike, is this premium? It's 1 to equip, which is nice, but we're at the 27 cards we have to
We
cut.
still have 27 cards.
So I don't even know if this makes it, right? Like,
yeah, I think we can find. I think there's easier cuts still than that one.
So maybe it's Executioner's Hood.
Yeah.
Is this better than flying though?
It is, but we're not playing any of the 2 mana 2 to equip flying, except for the Gilded Pinions right now. Is in consideration, and we're considering cutting it, and that's cheaper than
okay,
this.
so Strider Harness is definitely going. Sickle Slicer doesn't make the cut. Wings of Hubris.
I like it.
It's cheap equip.
It's cheap to equip, and it can finish the game if you absolutely needed to. It does an extra thing.
So it is okay. So I think this is good. Onboard tricks like this tend to be very good. So we'll do that, and then yeah, I mean all of these are kind of just meh. They're like this one's 2 to equip. Oh, this is 1 though.
Yeah. Of these that are left, the one that I like the best is the Sparring Collar.
Okay. All right, so let's try it out. We can't be that far wrong right now, you know, when it comes to this, because like, you know, like you're gonna have a mix of like all these different equipments, and your stuff is gonna get big and swole anyways, and so like, you know, little tunings here and there, what people choose, you know, around like maybe having a few more 1s, or maybe, you know, you say, oh, I can have a couple more 2s because I have a lot of 1s. I think it's fine. I don't think it's gonna be it's not. It's
the changes will affect you in
like, in small ways,
in very small ways. Like, you know, the upgrades are going to affect you in less than less than 5% of your games are going to be affected by the very small differences.
Yeah. We have too much removal.
I agree.
We have a lot of it's incidental though. We have to keep in mind Ninja Kunai, Lightning Spear, Heart Piercer Bow, and Spare Dagger are not actual extra slots. They're duplicates. So really what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
what can we sacrifice other than our commander to make Heartfire good?
To make Heartfire good?
Is it only when it gets targeted with removal that we can play this card?
And it's only creatures. Are any of these artifacts where you sack an artifact? No. So So yeah, we're reevaluating the idea that we need ways to protect Oxidda. And these are kind of like protection because it's specifically oubliette and deep freeze.
Mhm.
Um,
Can we cast this spell if that spell's not on the stack?
we have 30 some creatures, so there's a part of me that says yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to go down on that a little bit, but not.
Yeah, I was even looking at Casual's Toll Collector
Yeah.
as a potential one. It might be that I mean, Pilgrim's Eyes got flying though. I don't know.
Pilgrim's Eyes
it's
got
just
flying.
so good. Frogmite could come out.
Frogmite is probably
Frogmite is no longer because when we started building this, my deck had like 7 or 11 creatures in it,
Yeah.
and now we're like swollen out to like this crazy 30, which is way higher than I anticipated.
Yeah.
And some of these aren't just creatures, right? Like this one is not a creature technically. So let's actually pull this one out of creatures just because it's I like to load up different to know where the balance of effects is, but the reality is that only matters in decks where I want to see that I have enough of something. We have enough creatures. We have enough threats.
We have confirmed 30 is
no longer important.
Very significantly enough.
No longer important for me to see that makes a creature. This is also so we could just leave this under protection. I mean,
no, I think that is still a creature.
Aki Emberkeeper is going to be god tier.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is really good.
It's all really good. The like cards that I'm maybe looking at are we could maybe go down on one of the double strikers.
Filigree Familiar could go. Doesn't have evasion. And it draws a card when it dies. So it's not actually
not the enter the battlefield.
Yeah, it's not ETB. So that's a good cut.
And then
everything else here is looking like very
it all makes
premium.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, tons of sense. Simian Sling, no, this is good too.
It's
a 1 mana equip for 2, but it's a body.
It does
it's
reduce.
It's a MONKE.
This one is a MONKE.
It's a MONKE. Oh my god, this is like the mascot of the deck. Is like Harambe and his little brother. Like, oh Jesus. Oh man, that's so funny. Oh, I just lost it there. Just wanted to check and see. Yep, everything's looking good there. Cool. So double strike, we keep these.
Yeah.
These draw spells are all premium.
The Trailblazer's Torch is maybe
it's equipped for 1.
It's equipped for 1.
It always gets us a land. It's going to forge us. It's going to.
Yeah.
Initiative is so dumb. Like we just play this. Like
yeah, we do. Okay.
Like,
yeah, we care about this card. Like that's the initiative card that like I find myself cutting first if I want initiative in the deck, but I'm struggling for cuts.
And increasingly,
this deck really wants it.
And increasingly, I've been finding that like 4 mana initiative on nothing. It could be printed on nothing, and it would actually just be good enough.
Initiative.
Yeah, I know I cut this from decks sometimes, but like I don't know. If you just ignored the text on this card, it's still oftentimes worth it. So I need to think about that actually in some other decks that I've got.
Yeah.
41. This is a lot. This is where we cut. Yeah, this is where we're gonna cut. Sparring Caller is probably the one, right? Like.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're thinking about all the other things here.
Volshock Splitter.
Volshock Splitter could go. We don't actually need the creatures as much.
We don't need the creatures.
Yeah,
right?
so let's.
That's what we were thinking. We needed it.
Yeah.
And we don't.
Yep. Haunted Cloak is Vigilance, which is one of the most Vigilance and Haste, and it's 1 mana equip.
So good.
It's so good. Yeah. I think Vigilance here is great too.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Goldvein Pick? Because the other one is actually, so there's Goldvein Pick, and then there's Prying Blade, and both of these are fairly cheap. They're 2 and 1, and 1 and 2.
But we care about the casting cost more than the equip.
Yeah.
So this one would be of those two.
Oh, I just forgot another creature that we could play in here too that makes blood tokens. That's the Socialite.
Oh, Socialite.
Yeah.
Trample, when it deals damage.
3/2 trample. When it deals damage, make a blood token. That actually is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Oh, blood. Shoot. I know we're running off on another tangent here, but yeah, Belligerent Guest is like, I just want to say, I think this is one of my favorite red cards, actually. I don't like this art, but this card is so good.
It is really good.
I mean, this is like...
it very often makes 2 bloods.
It's a lot better than Phyrexian Rager, I'll tell you that. And if we suit this up, it's going to make bloods, a lot of blood. It's going to make a lot of blood tokens.
If it doesn't die, it makes blood. A lot.
We've got some Oh man, we've got other stuff in here too with blood tokens.
I don't know that we have much of a requirement for blood.
No, no, we don't have anything to necessarily do
like,
with it. It's just
yeah.
like another way to filter through cards that we don't need.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I mean, because there are going to be times when we're like 6 lands, we have like, or maybe we have like 5 lands and we have like 7 artifacts in play or 7 7 equipments, and we like top deck a land, and we can
Yeah.
use the blood token to get rid of that and turn it into something else. And I think that the blood tokens will be good then.
Yeah.
To like turn a third of our draws into something useful.
Yeah.
So like Epicure you could consider as well.
Right.
Celebrants is awesome. It makes 2 of them. It's a 4/4 menace, but it's 5 mana, so we're not going to play that one.
Right.
If you were, there's another build of this deck maybe where you do threaten effects and then you sacrifice them with the Heartfire, collateral damage, fling type stuff. It's another version. It's not as synergistic, and I think that like I'm more interested in like just doing the thing that appears to be very good. Finhorn says casting cost is more relevant for your speed. I usually prefer pick, but in this case, blade is probably better. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't know that making treasure is super premium in this deck. It's going to be useful.
Yeah.
It will allow us to do things,
Right.
And I think that that's all like worth considering. But this is another colorless card that I feel like probably ought to play in more decks. It is just looting, and actually, so this is worse than just playing a card that loots, right?
Mhm.
And this is actually worse than
It's a
looting.
4
It's
mana
rummage.
2/2.
It's rummage because you discard.
First.
Yeah, you discard first. Okay, forget I said that. I just had to think about it for a sec. The Blood Petal Celebrant is first strike on its base, and when it dies, you make a blood token. Yeah,
Like
iffy.
the blood tokens are good, right? They're
This
only
is
upside.
this is really the only one.
That's the only one I want to play.
Yeah, I agree. So that one will go into here. And again, we might even, I don't know. We'll see. So this one is going to also go under draw.
Yeah.
Creatures, and there we go. Okay, so now for sweepers, we just have these ones, and then where's the other creature we don't have it tagged under sweepers,
Right.
which is the
tagged,
shaman. Yep, and this is also a sweeper. Okay, so let's go back to the equipment section.
I think I want to talk about the removal still.
Yeah, removal
in there.
It's so many too. So Thunderclap is pretty premium. Collateral.
Yeah.
So what if we did this? What if we got rid of Fiery Conclusion and Heartfire?
Yeah,
I think those ones can go. So I mean, maybe I don't know. With so many threats in the deck, if Oxidda does get locked down by an Oubliette, I think we maybe just equip
and you get there somehow else.
Yeah. Okay. And we have Scred, which is good. We have Thunderclap, which is good. This is going to be great. Lightning Bolt. I do prefer the ones that go face, personally. So there's a part of me that wants to put Soulfire in here. You know the card?
That's an aura, right?
No, it's instant.
Okay.
Deal damage equal to your power to target your power to any target.
There's the one with Jumpstart with this.
That's 4 mana. But it is also an option, and it only goes face. Yeah, that one's called
Galvadic Punch.
Gravitic Punch. Gravitic Punch. Yep, this one right here.
It only going face makes it.
Jumpstart's really sick, but like, but it's 4 mana. It's so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. Like, if it killed a creature, I would play it over the Soulfire, but like, it doesn't. So.
Soulfire is still something that's like, this is 3 mana. It is a lot of damage. This is Terminate. Really, truly. Like, almost always is going to be Terminate. Or I guess like Crib Swap would be a better example, but it also goes face. So like, everyone's tapped down, hit you, you're dead. Soulfire, you're dead, right? And you can even do it like after combat, you like switch things around a little bit so that you have more power on one creature, and then Soulfire. This could easily be like 14, 15. I mean, this could be a lot of damage. If you had a turn where you have Oxidda in play and you have any way to switch equipment around for cheap, like with this, you just shift it all over. Like Bone Saw goes over, Bone Splitter goes over.
The equipments cost less to cast, but they only
equip to equip to this one. But you could load this up too. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
It might reasonably get bigger than Oxidda.
Yep. Okay, so I am looking at Spare Dagger. This one is a 1 mana equip for 1 though, so I feel like that's probably.
We're playing all the short swords.
Yeah, that's right. This is
better
the
than
same
a short
thing.
Sword.
Yeah, better than a short sword because the toughness is like useful for other things, but for the purpose of Oxidda, it's just power is what matters. Yeah. Heartpiercer Bow does not give power. I'm realizing this does not actually do anything but ping. Is that good enough?
It might be.
I don't think it is. If we've got all these sweepers, then maybe we're fine. Like we've got.
If they have a 1/1 death touch, that's like the time that you care about it.
But that's so
It's
not a common
regular.
thing. I think this goes. I think the
Like-
Heart Piercer bow is cool tech, but we don't need it.
Yeah, it's 2 mana. I thought it was 1/1.
Yeah. No.
It's 2/1.
2/1.
Right.
That was. I think if it was 1/1, I would be like, well, it's a 1 mana. You know, it's just like cheap.
Right.
Okay. I think we're also looking at the 2 mana Gold Vein pick. I think the Gold Vein pick comes out potentially because the casting cost. We do want it to be cheap on both ends, the casting cost and the equip. But early on, we just want to play it out.
We want to hit Oxidda on turn 3 as often as possible.
Yeah.
And that's a card that doesn't let us do that.
Yeah, we have 13 cuts to make.
Okay.
Holy shit. This one right here is also removal, which I forgot to put this under removal. But
it's 1 mana.
It's 1 mana for 1. Yeah. It doesn't do anything. There's nothing. There's no text on this other than sack this thing to deal 2 damage. Mm-hmm. However, it is kind of like Seal of Fire. It's just on board, right? Like these on board effects like Lightning Spear and this tend to be pretty good.
And we have the other creature. We usually will have the other creature to put this on, so you don't have to.
Right. It's not going to go on Oxidda. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to look like I don't want to touch this because this is like that's a good number. I want to stay high on this number so that we're always going to have 3, 4 equipment in hand. So we
want 4 equipment and 3 lands, which means we want more equipment than lands.
I actually think that we are too high on lands. And the reason oh wait, no. Well, no, so this is 2 because we have 113 cards, but the number is 28 lands is 2 lands per opening hand.
Yeah.
So that's just a good heuristic to think about. 28 lands is 2 lands per opening hand.
We want 3 lands on 3.
We want 3 lands on 3.
We want 3 lands.
2.2.
I'm seeing 10 cards.
So like 30 or 32 is about where we want to be.
32, 33.
So we're kind of there,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. 32 might be the disciplined thing to do. So then, frankly, I am looking at Soulsfire now. Soulsfire could also, we could swap this out though. Maybe dealing damage to face is better than even something like Scred. I think these are really good, but
no, I don't think it's
Is it better than collateral damage?
It might be better than collateral damage.
Damn.
I'm not super happy about those cards.
Okay.
You can kill Oxidda with a Soulsfire too, right?
Yep, that's true.
If that's the only out.
That's a really good point.
Reason.
Yeah, because really it's just that's a really good point. Somebody goes Oubliette and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna kill my Oxidda with itself.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's not something you're happy to do,
but you can do it.
Something that you can do.
It's a thing you can do. Yeah. Okay, now everything is very premium at this point. I think it's creatures. We have a lot of creatures.
Creatures that I'm thinking of.
I mean, okay, I'm going to be honest. The Toll Collector is not my favorite. I think that just insta make this thing big is not actually what we care about as much.
It's true.
And sorry, chat. 1 sec here. I'll answer this call. You take it for a sec.
Okay. So the things that we're looking for in our creatures are secondary effects, right? We want them all to do something because we don't fully care that they're big, right? We have big here, not up here, right? So we need them to do something else. This one is good at getting really big, right? It equips all of it and gets huge. But so it's a little bit faster than the other ones. But we're running out of cards, right? That the point of this deck is to run out all of our equipments and use that as the way that we develop our board instead of drawing cards. So we have the mana to spend to equip because we're not doing a lot of other game actions, but equipping. So equipping for free is really nice, right? We have lots of equip costs that we pay for, but we don't really care that we have to pay for them. And it this one has a similar effect, sort of. The Bladecraft Aspirant makes it cheaper to equip it to itself, which is great. It also has evasion. And the Menace, like trading this, probably not trading this, because honestly, it's probably big enough to tank 2 creatures a lot of the time.
Which one?
The Bladecraft Aspirant is, I'm comparing the Bladecraft and the Kazul's Toll Collector. This one having Menace makes it a lot better.
So much better.
And the equip...
And 3 toughness is better than 2.
Yeah.
We don't care about the power as much.
Stats are reversed. Yep. Which is good. And I think that this one can pretty often tank 2 creatures with the equipments that we suited up with.
Yeah. That's really good. Although the equipment spells cost 1 to cast, 1 less to cast actually doesn't matter that much because we empty them out of our hand, and by the time we play this, it doesn't actually matter as much. It's more like it continues to allow things to... It's only to switch on to it, though?
It is only to it that they cost less. But it does have evasion. It has Menace, which is evasion.
I just talked this card up so much, and now I think we cut it.
No, I think I like this card more than the Kazuls because what I was telling chat was that we run out of cards in our hand, right? We are okay to spend mana on equipping things.
Yep.
That is what we are doing with our mana after we play out Oxidda and we're down cards in hand.
Yeah.
So it's okay that they just cost less instead of costing 0 on the Kazul.
Slats does make a really good point. Is Fireweaver worth it if you're going to dump all the equipment out early? So the pingers.
You know?
I mean, so I think what they do is that they are reach in the sense that even if we play them on 2, it's very disruptive to the Oxidda plan to play this out on 2.
Yeah.
So maybe that's actually
that is the thing that I when I saw these cards, I'm like, yeah, we're going to be playing like 100 artifacts.
Yeah, like how many non-creature spells do we have? We have 45 plus 13. We have 58. 61.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have 61 non-creature spells in the deck.
Oh wait, wait, how did that? Oh, because we still have to make cuts.
Yeah, we still have to make cuts. So like, of course we play these. They're great. They're gonna do so much damage. But you bring up a really good point in that we're not gonna have cards in hand a lot of the time if we top deck one of these. And then it's just a body. So I think I like the Reckless Fireweaver because it does have the toughness, right? It's a 1/3.
We have 112. We have 12 cards to cut, though.
I think that we can keep. I think let's keep 1 in the deck for now. To see if we can And
I think this.
You might.
I mean, it might be. This might be a bit of an inevitable conclusion here. Scoot over just a little bit.
It might be. I might just be putting it off.
I mean,
to say we're only going to cut a couple of them.
Yeah, I think that this is like we almost need to just bite the bullet and say like, yeah, like I think Slats. This is a really and I hate it too because I like the reach because what these do say is it says like all of our top decks are just like dealing damage, and that's really good. And these cards win games. Like they really do. Like these cards oftentimes sit out way longer than they should and they end up converting to tons and tons of damage. But like it's just so weird with like how as an ex-player it hurts me too. Boy. Well, like I mean, I just don't see where else we would make the cuts.
I think because we'll Toll Collector, we're both not super high.
On. This one can go, which is so ironic because this was like heralded.
Is the best deck for
it. Like and you oftentimes find that in decks. Is like in Pauper Commander, like staples there are oftentimes very good reasons to not run staple cards in your deck. And to a degree, like you could even say, like, honestly, this might be kind of strange heresy, but like Galv Blast, Thunderclap, Lightning Bolt. Is this our problem? Is it our problem? Like we have all of these other things that just like Scred even. These are cards that do nothing to support our game plan except maybe kill our opponent with some reach, and they do interact with things, but we're not the deck that does that. We ask questions. They have to give the answer. These are answers, right? We have if we cut these 1, 2, 3, 4, that would put us to 9, and we would still have 13 reactive spells in the deck to kill things. And some of these are repeatable. These are repeatable.
Yeah.
This is repeatable.
So you have 3 repeatable, and Krark Clan Shaman is repeatable
and
too.
Krark Clan Shaman. Yep. So I don't know.
Like we give that flying a lot of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fundamental question that we have to ask because we're at the point where everything is good, and we're looking at a deck where, dude, this has 17 reactive spells in it.
Yeah. We haven't cut all the pingers yet, right?
Okay, so let's cut those. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I
think we can cut these. Yeah.
Yeah, we can
cut. Cut. It hurts. It really hurts. These are really good cards that I feel like in an ideal world we just play more than 100 cards. You know, like Cavalier. Is this premium?
It's gonna hit really, really hard. Like that's a Soulfire.
Yeah, it's big. It's really big.
Right?
It's really big.
That's a Soulfire for 1.
It's really big.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yeah, it needs it's a big boy.
And
this is basically and think about it this way. It's a 1-mana copy of Raging Redcap. Right? Double strike versus just getting 2 power for every equipment is kind of the same thing, because not every equipment's going to be a Bone Splitter.
Right.
But this is every equipment is Bone Splitter as well.
Also a Bone Splitter.
Which is nuts. So nice. this is looking better. 107. We're getting a lot closer here.
I think our creatures are all very good.
I mean, these ones here are the only ones that kind of don't have direct synergy with the deck, but they're flyers that give us value in the ETB, and that's like one of our direct heuristics, right? That's like one of the things we love to do.
Yeah.
Like, is just force your opponent to kill your Pilgrim's Eye is like cool cast down, bro. Like, that doesn't feel good.
No,
it doesn't feel good at all.
You killed half my card and like
yeah. Belligerent Guest is kind of acting like those. It's evasion. It's giving us repeat value. So I feel like that kind of fits in that same category of like a 3-drop. Okay, maybe this is done. 23 creatures is kind of like
so that's where I'm at too.
And honestly, like I hate it, but like Thunderclap, Galv Blast, Lightning Bolt, Scred, boom, done.
Not Scred. I think we keep Scred.
Is that better than Galv Blast though? What is Scred killing that Galv Blast isn't?
No, I was thinking that those 2 are probably the ones that I want to keep. If something has to go, it's Thunderclap.
Yeah, this takes discipline, chat, when you have to take cards that are generally good and you need to cut them.
Soulfire is like
this is doing a people, lot. Right? This is double strike. This is another double. This is
not quite.
This is
not quite, because commander damage is a thing. You know, we are hitting
right, but we're playing Fling
number a lot. Yes, but Fling is in there because you're scared of Oubliette.
I am afraid of Oubliette. Yeah. Yes, chat. He's right. I mean,
which is fair, right? That really does.
I am the bad guy. I am the man who plays Oubliette in every deck, and so like I know that this is the kind of thing I would happily throw an Oubliette on and just like move on, and it would feel great. It would. I mean, it would feel fantastic to just say you no longer get to kill me because you can't deal commander damage.
It's not going to show up in every game, though.
No, that's true.
And
so maybe
to deal with it.
I mean, I would rather cut Scred than Bolt and Blast because these go face, and Scred we're a low land count deck. It might at some point be 1 for 5, right? So it could kill a Dargo. Are we worried about Dargo? We fucking kill the Dargo player. We're the biggest MONKE.
Yeah,
he's
Dargo
only an ogre.
He's only an ogre.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or I guess he's a giant technically, but giant ogre, MONKE, gorilla, like whatever. By the way, can we just talk about this for a moment? Like the fact that this is an ogre. We've been
an ogre. Monkey the whole time. It's
a gorilla, not, dude. Look at this thing. This is a gorilla. Harambe.
How close can we get to that image on screen?
We can get very close. Yes.
Like, in what way is this not a gorilla? Can anybody in chat describe to me how this is not a gorilla?
WotC is just smoked so much crack before they turned this into an ogre.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand. Yeah, no, it is a lie. The ogre is a lie, similar to the cake. For those of you that understand that reference. Okay, so okay, then the last things we cut would be Scred. I think this is the cut. I know Scred's good, but these go face. Yeah. And then we've got 5 cuts. Jeez.
Right, I'm gonna run the numbers.
Okay. I want to see. Is it 30? Would 30 lands be okay?
30 lands. That makes sense that 30 lands and we see 10 cards on turn 3.
Yep.
That would be 3 lands on turn 3 most of the time.
Yep.
But I just want to run it through the calc.
Yeah, Slats. It's a gorilla. Okay, like it's also like this deck has some great names. You could have it be like UNGA-BUNGA MONKE. You could have it UNGA-BUNGA Harambe. You could have UNGA-BUNGA Harambe. Or actually a good one would be like Harambe's Finisher is actually like pretty savage.
That is a good one.
Or Harambe's Revenge. Like all of these are like great names for this deck. So like pick your poison. But okay. So what does the math say? It could be that we go and cut 3 of these. Like we could cut down to 35, which means 33% of our draws are equipment, which means that an opening hand, if you have opening hand is going to have 2.5 equipment. We really don't want to do that though.
Yeah. We want more equipment than we want lands.
Oh god, Slats calls it guerrilla tactics. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Damn.
32.
Guerrilla tactics. Yeah, dude, that's a great name, Slats. Yeah.
So with only 32 lands, we have a 68% chance to draw 3 or more lands on turn 3.
Yeah, the other math we could think about too, though, is what about with equipment? Because if we only have 2 mana and we go 0 drop, 1 drop, and then 2 1-drops, that's 4. So we really do want to hit a 3rd land because 3rd land is like third land is where we can go another equipment and then Harambe, or we can go or just cast Harambe.
Yeah. Right. And we can turn 4 with 2 lands, right? Almost every game.
Yep.
So we have an 89% chance to get 2 lands by turn 3, which lets us cast him on turn 4 in most games.
We are mulliganing for a certain kind of hand here.
That is, you essentially take that twice, which is a 95-ish% chance of 2 lands on 3 or what was it? How many we needed?
Jesus Christ.
68 is a 22, so we'd have an 11% chance
of failure on that.
Failure, right? Which is not big. With a single mulligan, you can mulligan more.
I mean, we have to keep in mind too that like, well, I think Study Hall and Opal Palace are just too important, but like these in our opening hand could mean that it's harder to cast Harambe because they're red. We need to have red, so you'd have to have 3 lands.
But they cast every other spell in the deck.
They're so good. They're good. And I love how we only have 2 tap lands in this whole deck. So gross.
That's good.
Okay, so we've got some of this here. Crystal Slipper seems really good. Okay, what about here? We do have
Cloak of the Bat or Fleet Feather Sandals. Flying in Haste.
What about Sparring Collar?
That was the one that we were talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy. All right. Cool. Yeah. Barbed Batterfist is actually pretty middling, even though it's on a creature, which is kind of interesting because we have lots of creatures now. It is doing dual duty, but it is +1, -1.
But the -1, I mean, 4 toughness is a big break point.
But there's also like other, other ways to buff toughness. Things, right? Yeah, I mean, it's still fine. I love that it leaves behind the body when we move the equipment over, right? It just seems really good. I think this is premium. And then leather armor though.
It's 1 mana and
it's 1 mana.
Harder to
it's 1 mana, slightly.
Like,
yeah, it's pretty marginal. But we're playing 1 mana equipment, you know, like
yeah, the 1 mana. I think this is on the better side of 1 mana equipment with a commander that we want to keep alive.
I don't know. I'm actually rethinking this a little bit. This does so. I like leather armor in Essior because it turns Essior into Ward 4, and that's like pretty relevant. In this, it's actually not that good. Ward 1. They just pay 1 more and they have 3 mana kill your thing.
It's
like
equip 0 though. Like
it's equip 0, but like, why do we care if it's not actually like stopping? I mean, there's going to be
like
ward is good, and we don't have protection in here, so there is that. But like, and there's going to be times where they have to decide to not play things because they need the 1 more to cast their terminate, or they cast their cast down to go for the throat. So it's a little bit of like negative tempo for them sometimes. Other times it's not going to matter. Other times it just won't matter at all.
But
maybe something like Trailblazer's Source is the removal. Only 1. Yeah. The free equip's cool.
I would look. I would go with Fleet Feather Sandals or Cloak of the Bat before I cut.
You would cut armor. Flying and Haste before leather armor?
Yeah. It's
wouldn't.
4 mana versus 1 mana.
4 mana is a lot, and the 1 manas are more important. Yeah, maybe the 2s are where we cut actually, because the 2s are like. Well, I mean, if that's the case, Haunted Cloak is on the chopping block.
Vigilance and Haste.
I mean, it's really good.
So many.
It's really good.
Like, comparing Haunted Cloak and Fleet Feather Sandals, Flying and Haste are good. Vigilance and Haste are so much better, though.
What about Cloak? Okay, I'm starting to think it's leather armor. It's maybe Slipper. See, Slipper is only 1 to equip, and it gives power, which is and technically we already have evasion on our commander, so flying is good, but it's like we don't necessarily need it. So maybe Wings of Hubris is actually where we make the cut. Unblockable's great, and it's only equipped for 1.
Okay. No, like so my I'm still thinking that it's Cloak of the Bat and or Fleet Feather Sandals, because Haste is good when it's cheap to equip, right? Because like if you have to pay a lot of mana, you can't then equip it with Haste. Like that's
the Haste is really powerful, and that's one of the
really powerful.
Haunted Cloak is a card that like you're never really excited to have it in your opening hand, but you're always excited to get it like after turn 4 or 5. Because this is just going to be so strong for closing the game out. And Vigilance is amazing in Voltron decks. So
how many 1-drops? Like Vanquisher's Axe is a thing that I can see.
It's the same as Darksteel Axe. It's the same card. So there's that. And I don't really even want to be cutting from this section.
The 1-drops are where
this is like, you know, like there might even be an argument for saying like cut Wings of Hubris, cut Cloak, cut Sandals, add in 1s, and then just like cut from creatures.
Yeah.
You know, like that might be where it's good. Like these feel nice because they're cheap. They don't need to be equipped to be good. I think that's great. It could be.
What goblins do we have?
And then we have the double strikers.
And Surgeon. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the goblin package is this is a goblin too. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're all strong. They're all too strong.
And Hellions insane. This is just like another Mirror Enforcer, basically. It's the same thing. Yeah, in fact, we need to. This is what you do, by the way, chat, when you're working on a deck and you really know what this is. We know what it is. It's 1 red, and then it just moves it in here. You can see it puts it in the 1-drops. These are in 0-drops, as you can see. We have the double strikers. We have the Pilgrim's Eye and Skyscanner technically are like nowhere near as good as a Shaman or as a
Pilgrim's Eye is out.
Yeah, Pilgrim's Eye, Skyscanner's
a little bit better than that, but
like not much.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if that's the case, like Belligerent Guest. I mean, this is where they got to make the cuts, right? This is the only place. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be.
We have 1 cut left. All right, let's do it.
Land.
Oh,
I hate it. I'm not usually that person. I'm pretty disciplined about lands, but like, we can find something else. We can find something else. Oh, can we though? Jesus.
You have
Maybe
a
it's
lot of
like
haste. Is it Dragon's Breath?
I mean, haste is so good though. No, Dragon Breath is. What are you talking about? Dragon Breath is the best.
It's not an equipment.
It's not. It's true, but it's also like
It's
the best
also
haste and it's
insane.
fire breathing. It's so insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Whisper Silk Cloak is also just like I feel like this is
It's
a card
lot
that's
of mana,
important.
but it does
something.
End it
Yeah.
when at the end,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's one of these evasion spells, and it's not the 1 mana one. It's maybe one of these.
Yeah.
Which one is cooler looking?
That Cloak of the Bat printing is cooler than the Fleet Feather Sandals.
This looks too Greek.
We
are not sophisticated. This is Chad.
Although, like,
Chad UNGA-BUNGA.
Sending him in a gladiator pit, he looks very much like he belongs in a gladiator's pit.
Oh yeah, he really does. He really does.
So
no, okay. So we are at the vaunted 100 cards. That was a lot more difficult than I was anticipating. We did do it in 2 hours, which is pretty good. I know some of this content can be kind of long form sometimes, but the reality is like the experience of like building a deck fully from 0 to hero in 2 hours is remarkable because like this is actually decently fleshed out. If you took this, you probably got 95, even maybe % more of your card choices are probably correct.
Yeah.
And so let's just take it through a couple of spins here. I think that this
mulligan.
Oh, we gotta go.
Is a lot.
Let me just go to. It's doing the weird. It's just the way my interface is. So so this is too many lands. It does have a body on this one, but I think this is not good. No. So we restart that there. No, not enough. So we mold a 6. This is great. This is a great. We probably ditch the Laccolith Grunt.
Yep.
This goes to the bottom, and then we're gonna draw, and that was good. So here is our hand. Let's just play this out, and so you can see all the cards that we've got. The reason I kept the Raking Claws is because this is going to allow us to kill a player. So we're going to go 1. We're going to go Sylvok Lifestaff because it equips for 1. We're going to draw a land. Not excited about that, but it's okay. We could cycle the Raking Claws, draw. That was a good draw. That was good. We could go. So we could go 3 into Haunted Cloak.
I think 3 into Haunted Cloak lets us
go 4. Yeah, 4 for Oxidda. Yeah, and actually that was a really good draw too because we can go 1 Adventuring Gear, and then that's free, right? And then we play Oxidda. Yeah. So that's turn 4 Oxidda. If we think about this in comparison to Sailor's Bane is basically guaranteed to come out on turn 4.
Yeah.
Turn 3 is the goal. Turn 4 is like, you know, you're actually fine with it, but it's still fast. I mean, it's still like it's a big creature for that cost. So I think this is reasonable.
Yeah,
and then
very often the biggest creature.
Next turn, this is actually nice with the Adventuring Gear too. So I mean, this is lethal. I just want to point that out too.
It's true.
It's just big lethal. It's really stupid.
With vigilance. Yeah, like.
Yeah, so we probably play this.
Well, you suit it up first, right?
Oh yeah, so
you put the gear on it.
Well, can we go 1, 2, 3? What can we equip? This is 1. This is 1. That's 1. We only need 1.
They're all 1. Sorry, the axe is 2 to equip.
Like so, maybe. Oh, but it's going to be discounted. Oh
no, only to equip itself.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so but what if we diversified our threats this turn and we held this for now?
Yeah.
Like maybe it comes out and people are scared. They're holding their removal. You know, we play out our land and we're gonna go attach to this.
Yeah, we give it haste as well, so it is actually attacking this turn.
Yep. Right? So we're gonna give it haste. Here, haste and vigilance, and then we're gonna attach this to the dude.
No, you can still kill somebody with the Raking Claws, right? It doesn't give +1. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's the only bummer. So we attach. I think we attach here, like that, because this is already huge, and then we attach this here for 1, and then we play our land. Oh, sorry, I drew a card. I didn't mean to. Now we know what's on top. We play our land. Gives the +2/+2. We pay 1 to attach this here, like that. So we'll stack these up, and that makes this a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I know that I've added toughness, but don't worry about that. It's 6 power right now, and this is 8 power here. And then we swing.
Yep.
Yep.
Swinging for 14.
Yep. Draw, and Laccolith Whelp is kind of spooky with all this like removal on the table, because you know what we can do? So Laccolith Whelp, and then we go Haunted Cloak, and then we go probably we want something. Yeah, it'd be Dark Steel Axe would be the next one, like that. So we're gonna bolt something, right? It's 3 power.
And we can, you know, we can teamwork to bolt a thing and have it not die sometimes.
Yep, that's fine. So yeah, do the thing. Opal Palace, you know, is fine if we're, you know, getting.
I mean, there's a good chance that
it's already died. Yeah, for sure. So, and this was kind of a, you know, this was like kind of an awkward hand too. So, we'll do one more of these before we wrap up.
So
that is an awful, unplayable hand.
Yeah, 0 equipments. How are we finding 0 equipments twice in a row?
That doesn't make. That's 1 equipment 3 times. Wait, that. Okay, so we're at 4 here. This is like a really sad hand. We put this back. We put this back.
Sure,
I guess. Although, yeah. Okay. Draw. Well, I mean, that was a superb draw. Yeah. So 1 here, and then we go draw, and I think we're gonna go. What's up, Jen? How you doing? We're gonna go MONKE. I think we're really likely to not flip something we can cast off that. So we play.
I don't know. I think we are.
Oh wait, yeah, that's a good point. We are actually flip. Okay, so sorry. The way we do this is this. We tap that one and we play that one. Yep, and then untap. I mean, this is turning out fine. We're turn 3 and we're like already like, you know, next turn we go load this up, make treasures maybe, or I think so we could play out the Cloak of the Bat.
Yeah.
And then we can't do anything else, and we can't even swing with this. So instead we could go 1, 2. Well, we could go 1, 2, 3, equip, and then it's 3, 3, 4.
3, 4 vigilance.
But it's not actually progressing us. So I would much rather equip this, get the treasure. It's awkward. The treasure is basically the same as playing this, though.
Yeah, I think I would rather play that.
Yeah. Draw. I mean, scary.
We can now play the Oxidda.
Oh, Oxidda. Yeah, we play the Oxidda out. Like that.
Yeah. I mean, this was on a mold of 4, though.
This is a mold of 4.
And we're still turn 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
A mold of 4 is obviously terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. It's really, really
sometimes
bad.
Sometimes you have
to. Yeah. I think we just suck that one up and just count that for variance. 1, 1.
1 lander.
I mean, would this have just been better as an equipment? You know, it's like looking at these hands sometimes. It's like
just always better as everything is.
Yeah, it's just better if everything is an equipment, right? Yeah, it's just like I mean, the deck, like when you're able to cast the Oxidda over and over again is when it's really at its best, right? Yeah. So this is a 1 lander though. Like this is really sus. We have a lot of drops we could do, but we're counting on a 1/3 odd off the top, and then 1/3 again, and then so like 60% chance of getting a land.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty sus.
65. Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, let's just restart. Be disciplined. This is awful.
Yeah.
Fuck. We just want equipment, and we're not getting it. We have almost 38 pieces of equipment. I mean, this is good.
This is a good hand. We're at 6
Ditch
now.
Bolt to the bottom. And now we draw. Okay.
This is a hand.
This is a hand. This is a hand. Actually, we're going to do short sword. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it matters. It makes a huge difference.
Wow. Okay, that got really that got really scary really quick. Turn 3 Oxidda.
Yeah, and equip it with a short sword?
No, we have no mana.
Oh, you're right. You're right. My bad.
And then
Vigilance.
I think we just give it. I would love to just be able to play.
I think it's the Vigilance. I think you just equip it with the Vigilance.
Oh yeah, equip it with Vigilance.
Make a super duper unkillable.
I mean, alternatively too, we have enough power to pump it up by 2 power on the next swing for very cheap. I think we play the Haunted Cloak because it's going to reduce the cost if it dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Reckless Impulse is good. Maybe we save Reckless Impulse because we don't need cards right now. We've got cards in play.
We got cards.
So we go 1, equip, 2, equip, 3, equip, like that. And it's
1, 2,
swing
3,
for
5.
lethal because we
swung
last turn.
7.
Yep.
Now it's 9.
So say it dies. Okay.
Yep.
And then we'll return these back down here. And then we draw. And then we're going to go. So if it died there, we are kind of sad.
7 mana.
I think
it
we
costs 4
go
mana.
Reckless Impulse because we want to hit a land. And we didn't hit either.
But we did hit an equipment.
We did hit equipment, which is ramp. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is sitting in exile. This is in our graveyard. And then we pay 1. This is free.
Yep. And then you cast it.
Man, the fact that it's free when you want to like recast the Oxidda is pretty amazing.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, and then I think what we need to do, oh, actually, you know what? Instead of playing this, we need to get this in the graveyard. So we go Gavalier, and then we cast this. Because this is going to go in, this is in exile otherwise.
Yeah.
So we need to do that, which is sad. But, you know, it is what it is. So 1.
It's a goblin.
It's a goblin for...
The Children we just...
oh, yeah. Yep. Another, sack fodder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reduced. So it's 3. So we could pay 1 to go to 7. And then reduced by 7. And then, 1, 2, Oxidda. Man, it just feels like we just want even more equipment all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Like that is plan A of the deck. And I feel like maybe we need to, maybe the second iteration, we're not going to do this today because we do want to wrap it up here. But I think if we were to be, this is filled with a lot of stuff that is really cool. And the question is how much of this is going to be better than just making our game plan dead consistent. Yeah, right. Like the Aki Ember Keeper, it could be the
I think
could be the double strikers.
Yeah, the double strikers.
I mean, what would that look like? So cut the double strikers and then put in like what are our one drop equipments that we don't have. Actually, so the better way to do this would be to do type equipment CMC equals 1 because we want to see what we don't have currently. Which would be, we really want the most playable ones.
No, sorry.
Got it, yeah. Yeah, it could be the hover sail.
Yeah.
Could be hover sail utility knife isn't bad. It's not great. We're pretty lean, honestly. Like there's not a lot of really premium ones. We cut all the premium ones. Yeah. But I think if we cut the double strike, it's this one. Although if we were looking at the difference, this one right here immediately equips. But look at that. The difference there is pretty huge. Yeah. We could also just say Rune Stalactites, way more playable. It's only equipped for 2. Yeah. So we could do that. Hover Sail and even Inventor's Goggles is actually pretty decent. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 for 2 to equip. We would rather a 1 to equip for 1, but we don't have any more of those. I don't think any more that do anything.
Yeah. Wait, Blazing Torch, did we move? No, we didn't.
Yeah. I think that's we're at the point where we are looking at like goggles
or
we could play
the Skybinder staff. Yeah.
I mean, the Skybinder staff is interesting.
Right.
But yeah, okay. So I think that's the one there. Let's be disciplined about this. I think that the double strikers are good, but it's also like we don't need our creatures to double strike for them to be like scary and win the game.
Yeah.
So that
and
right
we're
there.
Running the double strike spells already.
Yep.
We can double strike a Goblin Gavalier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. We have double strike spells, right? So that equipment gets our number up to 39. That's like much more healthy. 39 is like, I mean, that's 40% chance of every card off the top of our deck being equipment, which means if we have 7 cards in our opening hand, 8 cards with 1 off the top, that means 40% of that is...
By turn 3, we'll have seen 4.
Oh, okay.
Time, right?
That's an average. Is like how many? So what does the Hyper Geo say about how many equipment we should see by turn 4.
Turn 4?
Yeah,
so
turn
we see
4.
11 cards in turn 4.
So Gator says we should have Mana Geyser. No, I don't think so. Mana Geyser is 5 mana.
And our commander, like, generally, like,
yeah,
it's going to cost 2 a lot of the
If
time.
Mana Geyser were a lot less mana, then we could consider it. I hear what you're saying, but 5 mana is a lot when we're actually, like, if you look at the land count, we're 32 lands, right? Like, we've already seen that, like, one of the, like, and part of the reason we're going so low on that is because every single one of these things is like a mana rock, right? Forever.
Equipments are mana rocks.
It pays the equipment cost. I don't think it's true, but I mean, find a cut. That's what I'll say. Find a cut. You guys got the list, or actually, I don't think you guys have the list. Let me make sure you have that in
how many
there.
Are we hoping to see by 4? We want to see at least 4.
Yeah, 4 would be 4 by 4 would be 3 lands. 4 of those. That's a that's it right there. Here is the list. Sorry, I didn't drop that earlier. There you go. And then what I'm going to do is put that in the description as well. Mana Geyser, very powerful card, but I think it's not premium. And these slots right now have gotten way tighter than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So on turn 4, we're supposed to have seen more than 4 equipments.
Okay, good. That's great.
It's 69% to draw 4.
69%, he says. Excellent numbers, my friends.
And 43% to see 5. So it's somewhere between 4 and 5, closer to 5.
Awesome. You know what? I think we're set.
Yeah.
I think we done good. This deck is actually looking very lean, very mean. There's a lot of ways to kill people on turn 4 in this deck. There's and we've got a lot of utility too. I'm shocked by how many spells we have in here that just have like another mode that's relevant, like the Wings of Hubris giving unblockable to just like murk somebody. Lightning Spear being just a lightning bolt on table that can also go face. Having things like the what was the other one that we were thinking of? The Ninja Kunai, the Spare Dagger, having some play there. We've got these great like Vigilance package, which is really phenomenal. We also have the Blazing Torch, which can just be like a seal of fire on board.
Yep.
Although I think that mode will be kind of rare. It won't be that common, so to speak.
Okay.
I love that when I get to say that won't be very common. It's very common, apparently. Yeah. And then actually the thing that's wild is we just have like these repeatable removal effects that are really exciting.
Great.
Yeah, super exciting with the grunt and with the whelp.
I'm looking forward to putting a slagworm armor on those and just attacking you and killing you, the important creature every time.
Totally. Like load these things up, get to work. And honestly, the other thing you can do is you can just kill the thing that's blocking it.
Yeah, you can still just have a deal.
If you're worried that they're going to block your thing and kill it, and you want to keep your repeatable removal around, you just like say it.
2-target creature.
Yeah, 2-target creature.
It essentially, it's
first strike.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's very flexible. This is very powerful. Again, credit to this idea to Noyark. I'm sure other people have thought of it too, but I just wanted to give credit where I picked up that idea. Noyark is one of our members, one of our tier, I believe he's tier 2 or tier 3 members through the channel, and he gave a great recommendation on that. And then we have like some really amazing reach with Soulfire Fling that comes along with those. This also hits players, which I just looked at that hits players. Like if they spent all game like killing your stuff and nobody has any removal, and you play this out, load it up, and just start like nugging people at end of turn, it's like a lot of damage. So yeah, I'm pretty confident with this. I'm excited to play it. It'd be a race to see who gets it built first. I might have some of this card like assembled maybe in my stuff. Although you have a huge collection of cards, so I bet you have most of this. But anyways, I think it's time to wrap it up, dude. This was fucking awesome. Yeah, man, good stuff. Connoisseur is a fine common cardboard. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today and joining us for this impromptu Let's Build. Some of you are probably learning that sometimes we go on at live times that aren't scheduled. They're not in the upcoming live stream, and it's because sometimes we get spicy, exciting stuff. Like Thrall Parasite, for example, came to me after I saw Brad Drac V from PDH pod post about it, and my mind did like the Zach Galifianakis like calculus moment where I was like, just like had this moment of awakening, and I was like, oh, this is the Witherbloom deck of the future. This is like the control deck standard. This is the standard for control. This is like the best deck I've seen in a while. Like it just like came to my mind because the cards are the same as Witherbloom Apprentice. And so what I found is that like to keep those creative juices relevant and fresh, I just want to go live and it won't go on the schedule. So go ahead and undersubscribe. If you click that and go to the bell icon, it'll tell you when we're going live at odd times like this, where you can see people like myself and great people like Zach come on here and build awesome decks. If you want to be hosted on one of these Let's Builds as well, go and check out the memberships. We have a join where you can join in 4 different tiers of membership, starting as low as $1 a month. For $12 a year, you can help keep the content flowing here and help me keep fed, which is great. Just show some appreciation for that if that is within your budget. So with that said, if you haven't already, make sure to click like on the video. Just do that free thing before you leave. It's sad how many views some of these videos get with low like count. It's just something you want to like make sure to drop that in there. Let the algorithm know that you're enjoying it. And yeah, so with that said, yeah, hope you all have a great day. Connoisseurs of Fine Common Cardboard, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you on the flip. Peace. And